Pandora's box is about to open wide.
Welcome once again to Pandora's Box, everyone. Peridot Greenleaf, you were just telling us about how you attempted to learn the guitar.
Oh yeah, this was like ages ago, but the guitar was broken. It had like a string missing, and I had like really long nails on. And
when you said really long nails on, were they fake nails?
Yeah, they weren't my real nails.
Okay.
My real nails would never grow that long without breaking.
Right.
And I have fake nails on that I did myself, and I tried to learn, and obviously you can't really hold.
Oh, so because of like your
The fretting hand.
Yeah. I also, and then because I can't play guitar anyway,
Yeah.
I was just like strumming it like for fun, and then like
DJ Khaled.
one of my fingernails like flinged off, and I got really upset, so I decided to give up.
You were like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
It sounds like a tragic 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was literally 5 minutes as well.
5 minutes of woe. That's your first. That's your first song.
Yeah,
5
and then
minutes of woe
I
by
tried to do
Imogen.
the ukulele instead, and that was just as bad. So
Same problem, smaller instrument.
I just stopped.
I
remember when I decided I was going to try and learn. I think my hand like blistered after like the first day of doing it, and I was a bit like, I don't know. I don't know if I can see this out.
Oh, isn't it like real funny to hear stuff like that, Drew? Because obviously it's like it's like worry's long gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember when I very first started, but I started on a nylon string, so it was a lot easier. It was like this really cheap, like £18 nylon string from Argos, and it was really easy to like press them down because they were like plastic strings rather than like steel strings, so it made it a little bit easier. But yeah, I can still remember my fingers hurting a little bit. And to be fair, if I haven't played guitar for a few weeks, like. And then I start playing quite a bit. My fingers still ache on the end now. Like, you got to keep those calluses up. Like, you've got to play a lot.
You really do, because it's like they never go like back to completely
they're always
normal,
still
do
there.
they? But
yeah,
but they'll always go like but they will be like half of what they were.
Yeah.
The
So
only
if you play for a couple of hours, it's like, oh god.
Remember the only time I can think of in like fairly recent memory that I remember like really noticeably, like they were really hurting, was when we were in the studio recording the Jimmy O'Malley 2 track, and obviously I was doing like quite a lot of takes of like lead stuff, and I don't usually play electric guitar like at all, like unless there's like a specific reason to, like in that instance. Like I just don't really ever do it nowadays. So to go from like playing more like chordy stuff to then doing like take after take of more like lead stuff. Yeah, it's like it just sort of like cuts into your fingers a bit, and it just sort of like it does obviously give like a bit of like a
cheese wire.
Oh my god, yeah, it is, isn't it? And it does sort of like give a bit of like a achy little like dull achy throbby feeling at the end of your fingers after a while, doesn't it? It's like pretty relentless.
I remember
that's the only time I think.
Live as well, like with DBK, where it was quite fast-paced, like metal stuff.
That's going to be the worst.
Going from like not really warming up much before the gig, like you're not sitting there for an hour doing scales and warming up, and we just like blast into it like 100 miles an hour. And sometimes, like after like the first couple of songs, like I'd have like cramp in my hand and stuff. I'd be like, oh god, how am I going to go on?
That's what I was gonna... Yeah, I think with the, more like that guitar in, it's like the like the thrash style. It's more like. It's like this part of your hand, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like that muscle cramps up.
That from like the constant like cramps up, and unless you're like James Hetfield Jr., like Josh, or actually James Hetfield, like man, it's hard to keep that up because maybe you can for a couple of minutes, but then after that, it's like it's all like cramped and everything, and you just can't really maintain it.
I guess it must just be similar to like a writing pain, like when you write a ton,
your
hand just like gives up.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, I'd say it is probably like a similar thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Drew, can you like turn your mic up a little bit, man?
Mic up, is that better? Mic up.
Probably, maybe still a little bit more.
Let's have a look. Microphone, Evie.
Talking of music, Drew, did you see that? Did you see that? Amber,
how about that?
Maybe a tiny bit quieter.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like God.
Just keep going.
How about that? How about that, baby?
Right?
How about
sounds
that?
Good to me, man.
Yeah, we'll keep it at that. If it's a bit overpowering. Yeah.
He just sounds like a god, it's alright.
Oh, that's how Drew likes to sound.
I am a god.
I am God, Drew.
Bellowing down.
Yeah.
I wish.
I am virile, Calum. Yeah, that has no relevance to what anyone's into, but it makes sense to us guys. It makes sense to us guys. But did you see, Drew, that Amber's put us as like the headliners for her little event next year?
What?
Yeah, I was like, oh man, we're actually going to have to practice a little bit now because We're coming after like Stevie Nicole Brown in that, who's like really freaking good.
Oh, really?
And I was thinking more like, I was hoping that maybe we'd be a bit earlier on in the day. Do you know what I mean? Like no pressure. But if we're like the headliners,
we're gonna have to learn some Fleetwood Mac, man.
Nicole Brown. I was like, oh mate, we're probably gonna have to practice a bit now.
Are you doing like a Mystic Bards thing?
We're just gonna do like whatever we want. I'm no like.
It was really fun the other day when we did when we had a bit of a jam, like
tracks.
like some stuff like that, and that would be pretty cool. Might even like play the thing for a couple of the tracks or something like.
Play some drums and that. The what's it called again? The
cajon.
Cajon. Yeah, play the cajon for a bit. We can just like freestyle. I think. Let's try and just make it like as fun for us both as possible. I think that's the main thing, isn't it? Because then it just seems like, because then obviously it won't be like a really hard practicing and stuff. And also, I think this time I'm not going to put so much in the past, almost like as a pride thing. I never wanted to like rely on having to look at any lyrics or anything like when I was like performing. But then as a result, you have to practice obviously a lot like leading up to the event because you have to remember every single freaking lyric and like call it every song. But I think this time, because to be fair, like even people like Maynard James Keenan and Tool and like Steph
have
from,
their iPad up there and
that,
stuff, yeah.
They do, and like Ozzy had his like frickin' the Back to Begin in the gig the other week, and these are songs that he's been singing for like 55 years. Do you know what I mean? So like, I might just do that, and it would take the pressure off a little bit as well. Like,
you guys should do an improv song in your set.
Yeah,
that'd be so good.
Yeah. To be honest, that's probably
awesome.
the sort of thing that I reckon that we would thrive at the most as well.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
Get like random words and have to like make it based around those words.
Freestyle.
Yeah, I remember that when we did that one at Bar 27, we just sort of played this quite like jammy thing, didn't we? Do you remember that?
Yeah, we freestyled that a bit.
Jammy thing that was quite cool. Like, it's fun as well because there's not really much pressure because it's not like, I need to remember this. Do you know what I mean? It's more like you play what you want and hopefully it comes out all right. But
I think I would have really liked to be a singer in another life. I was thinking this when I was doing karaoke the other day on holiday.
You'd be in the Beach Boys, I reckon. You'd be a good member of the Beach Boys.
I'm quite happy with that, man.
Would you want to be in a band or like a solo?
He'd be in the Beach Boys.
I don't know. I think I just quite. I think I quite
do you know
like
who the Beach Boys are.
I've heard of them.
Surfing USA.
Yeah.
Everybody
goes.
I think I quite like the attention of it in a weird way. I like.
You're an exhibitionist, young man.
I think I am. Yeah. When I got the mic. I started like in between all the little
like,
bits.
Here I would
be like, this one goes out to all my friends back home and all the fans in the building.
Mate, you are hilarious.
I just like the little in between bits where you just get to sort of say what you want and just almost like play this character.
Yeah.
See, they were the bits I hated most when I was like doing live shows. I loved playing like the music parts, but like in between, like speaking to the audience, creating the banter, and doing all that. Like that was the part I was like, oh my god, I'd kill me
There's
now.
There's definitely an art to that as well, isn't there?
Yeah,
that's some people are really good at it.
Yeah, I listened to the other day. I listened to Frank Sinatra at the Ritz or something. It was like this 1966 really famous concert he did, and it was with like a full-on big like brass band, like brass and like a swing band, and he had this like 10-minute monologue like in the middle of the set, and it was amazing. He was like the best stand-up comedian you've heard, like, but he's just singing all these swooning songs, but he like really knew how to work the audience. And it was like, this is skills.
One of my favourite albums of all time, and probably potentially my most prized LP, is Townes Van Zandt live at the Old Quarter. And the Old Quarter was this, I don't even know if it's still there anymore, it was like this legendary venue in Texas where like country and western and folk players would play back in like the 60s and 70s and 50s and stuff. And it's so good. But like, his like banter and interaction with the crowds in between the song are like so flawless. And it's like he's so smooth, so charming, and everyone's laughing and that. And I was thinking, it's even more impressive in a way, because if you know as much about Townes Van Zandt as I do, like I've watched documentaries about him, I've read books about him.
It's quite
just,
recluse.
Like, really found out everything. Yeah, he was quite reclusive, and also he had like a lot of issues. So he had like what's it called, electrotherapy or whatever, like where you're basically like electrocuted, When he was like came out of high school, he went to like join the military, and then he like failed some tests. And then in those days, it was a bit like similar to, you know how they used to like lobotomize people. Obviously, it wasn't the same thing, but similar in terms of the fact that it's by today's standards a very brutal thing. So it's like, oh, I know what will sort you out for these like issues you've got. We're just going to electrocute you and all this stuff.
God.
That is crazy.
So he had all that, and then because I think that made him obviously even worse. And then he had like a really bad alcohol issue, and then like drug issues as well. So then to think that he had all these issues, but then he's just so charming and like articulate and like on the ball and like, you know, like connecting with the crowd so well in between the songs is like so impressive.
I almost feel in a weird way that's why that works though, because it is such a complete opposite to yourself. In the same way that like you
watch
watch
a wrestling character.
Exactly, that's what I was about to say. The same way that you watch a wrestler that's like a heel, and they could be a really good person, but they get to, as soon as they throw themselves into this character, you can almost be so over the top and play the character so much that it just works. You know, whereas I feel like if you already have a little bit of that about you and just accentuate yourself, it can almost be harder, because I think Triple H said it once. Said the hardest thing to do is to be yourself as a character, because if you fail, it's not the character that fails, it's you. And I think that's what almost makes that's what makes a story like that make so much sense, is that if you were not social, not almost like, you know, able to connect with people in your own life, but you could go up on stage with a guitar, chuck on some glasses and be like, I'm now not this person, I'm the performer. I'm not me, I'm this person that goes on stage and does this for a living. I could see how that just does become easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I remember, you remember that first, I think, it was the first thing that we ever did for Amber, that was at like the Cobblestones, Drew. And I remember before we played like that song, Werewolf Size, I remember I just said to the crowd, I was like, so does anyone like werewolves? But then just everyone was just didn't say anything, and were just like gawping at me, and I was like,
oh man,
all right, well, I'm just gonna play the song anyway then. So, but it's like, yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, obviously, you want someone to be like, yeah, I like werewolves.
Yeah.
I love American Werewolf in London, or something like that. And then everyone's just almost like gawping at you like a fish in a fish tank.
Yeah, and then it's like, it makes it even more awkward, and that's what I always like felt in those situations. But like, I do think at gigs, like when people are really good at that, it like adds this layer to the experience for everyone, like that doesn't happen with just the music alone. Like, you get into the music and you can appreciate it. It's amazing, this zone you get into when you're listening to like amazing music live. But yeah, when they do have this like banter with the crowd, like, it does something with the crowd where it almost like connects them in a different way to the crowd, and it like breaks the ice. So it's like when you're in an elevator and like no one says anything for a bit, and then all of a sudden like someone talks, and it just changes the energy in the elevator. It's like then all of a sudden like you're just like, oh, this isn't awkward, like, you know, you're just having a chat or something. Yeah, like it's weird. It does, and I think people in the crowd really appreciate it, like when they have that element as well, because when it's just that like awkwardness, I think if it's just music and then nothing else and then music, it's like there's this like tenseness there that's like needs to be broken.
You see, like some bands though, that they don't really do it. Like even like really good bands, they will just pretty much, it will just be like silent for a second, and then just go into the next track. Or maybe they'll just be like, that was off our first record, blah blah blah, and now we're going to play this or whatever.
But like,
and
do you remember like with like the banter at like OPEF and stuff, like that's do you know what I mean? It added this element to it where like I think for them they thought this is a bit weird, but they went with it. But it was like it's quite funny, and now it's this funny little memory I have of like, yeah, that's another element of that gig that was cool. Yeah.
What's it called when you have a relationship with someone that you don't know, like on the internet? A parasocial. I feel like a lot of people.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, to be parasocial with someone is like to believe that you're friends with someone that you don't actually know. You know,
what, like half my Facebook friends?
Exactly. But or a paratrooper. Yeah. So like.
Is it like me with One Direction?
Yes, you would have a parasocial relationship with One Direction, exactly.
Oh god.
But like. Everyone just does naturally have a parasocial relationship with celebrities that they enjoy their work.
Like people that don't even know that you're alive, but they've had a massive influence on your life.
Like I go around and in photo. I'm wearing a Barcelona shirt right now. In pretty much all the photos I've been doing Lamine Yamal's celebration. I'll never meet Lamine Yamal.
Yeah,
I'll never chat to the bloke. He doesn't know who I am.
But you know who he
is. But to me, he's my friend.
Yeah.
You know, and I think for an artist, I feel like for an artist is an important thing to recognise that. And I almost think it's a bit silly and a bit almost a bit ignorant to not recognize that when you're an artist and go on stage. If you just go on stage and like, I don't know you people, I'm here to play the music, I almost think that does us disservice to the people that are there that do believe they have this parasocial relationship with you. Like, it's not like you need to go off stage and then be their friend afterwards. But you should almost acknowledge the fact that to them they are your friend.
I guess the hard thing at a concert though, say like more the ones that say me and Drew have done in the past, it's like they're not necessarily there to see you.
Yes,
they're just there and you're playing.
I mean,
so
more
that's
on like
a bit more
bigger,
of a,
I mean, more on like if you were going to see like, I don't know, Foo Fighters or something.
Yeah,
like
no,
that,
of course. I feel like it's probably obviously it's easier if you're already more established to do that.
It must be a weird thing for all celebrities and that are in that situation where so many people have eyes on you, but you don't know those. Like I saw
Louis Tomlinson does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like quite a good friend. Like he acts like friends with like all of his fan base.
That's really nice.
And he's like really open with them and like fully like always says about how like we are basically like family or whatever. Until the other day when he did a comment like, it's been really hard for me to be on here because everyone's like conspiring about my relationships and my son and all that. And I don't. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's all right. That's what I'm here for.
About like my son, my mum, and my girlfriend, and I don't like it.
That would be really annoying, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, his mum's not
Everyone's
here.
talking about your mum and your missus online.
His mum's passed away, so it's even worse. And his son, who's like 6, they're always saying it's not his son, even though they look exactly the same, and it very clearly is. Yeah,
brutal.
Poor guy.
That's
but
pretty brutal thing to say, isn't it?
Everyone
online's like, his son's blatantly not his son.
Yeah.
Actually, they are.
Yeah, like he had a really good like relationship like with fans to the point where if somebody literally felt like they were like best friends, he'd like be like, oh yeah, like he'd like happily like act like friends with them.
We are best friends.
Like,
yeah,
we are best friends. What do you mean?
Take him away.
Yeah.
It's it's a nice thing to try and do that, I guess. But like but I think it's very hard to keep it up and to actually because it's just you can't be like on a personal basis with like that many people. Like I think a natural thing for us as humans is like quite small little groups and that, and you only are really like super close with like
10 people. Or
and that's quite healthy. I think it gets a bit with this whole idea about celebrity and fame, and like I think that's why like so many artists have to
even social media.
Like completely like recluse themselves when they're not in the limelight. Like I saw this podcast with Brad Pitt the other day, and I thought, I've never heard Brad Pitt in an interview or something. I'll just start like watching this.
He seems pretty well adjusted, doesn't he, for a guy who's such a famous guy?
And he was saying like
the guy with such a famous guy.
I have to like
the guy that's so famous.
I really like.
Where's Drew gone?
I think he's disappeared.
Oh, have I disappeared?
They've muted him.
And it's become like a regular feature of the show. It's just like, when's Drew gonna go?
I can't see anything.
That's so annoying.
Oh wait! He's here. Oh, we're here, Drew. You're here. We can hear you. Oh,
maybe not. Maybe not.
He's taunting us, guys. He's taunting us,
edging us.
It's so strange.
We're never gonna know what. We're never gonna know. Will we ever find out what Brad Pitt said?
I really like Brad Pitt. I was saying this to you the other day, wasn't I? When I went to go see the F1, the F1 movie, which is really good, by the way. I left that cinema with a little bit of a swagger in my step, a little bit of a deeper voice.
You also felt virile.
I felt very virile. After 2 hours of watching Brad Pitt be cool, I was like,
do you know what? You remind me a little bit of a young Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that, man.
You know, like there's certain people I would almost like put in the same category physically, like a young DiCaprio, a young Brad Pitt.
Oh my god, young Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh my god. I used to love him so much.
The way you looked at me and said that, then was so oh my god, young
so
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Honestly, he was so hot.
Your heart throb for that?
Yeah, I used to love it. Titanic, and what was? Oh, there was another film I used to really like him when he was like young. Oh my god, he looks so hot in them. Me and my friend used to watch him all the time.
Oh my god.
I love it. I love you have like catchphrases, Imogen. Like you have oh my god and whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, the amount of times Imogen said to me that, and I was like, whatever.
I've also got supposedly as well. I always
supposedly.
say that a lot.
That's so
not
good.
even a word, but
no, exactly.
Yeah,
it's supposedly, but I say supposedly.
It's a nice. Yeah, but it's a nice. It's a.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's like I can't think. But it's like basically when you like have like your own certain things. It becomes
catchphrases almost.
Yeah.
I know exactly the word I know exactly. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
You'd be like,
with an M.
That's such like a. you know, something that you associate with a certain person. But
well, man, I really appreciate that. Anyway,
I saw a picture.
young
Do you know
Brad
what?
Pitt, I'm
I
happy with
even
that.
thought it the other day. I saw a picture online of like Brad Pitt when he was like 26 or something, and the first thing that struck me was how young he looked for his age. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, if I knew him when I used to always call you the baby-faced assassin and rinse you for looking like you were like 12 all the time and stuff, I would probably have said the same thing to him. But to be fair, like you look at him now, and he just looks like a great 60-year-old or whatever.
Aged very well, yeah.
And I was just saying, but I was thinking like, there's something about him. Like, it's not necessarily like I even think you look like him, but there's just certain guys like DiCaprio, Brad Pitt. I would almost like put in the same category. It's almost like similar color eyes, similar color hair. Both like quite youthful for your age, but although the more bigger, more obviously maybe more masculine looking guys that age might take the mick at you when you're younger. When once you're sort of in your 50s and you still look like you're like
Get them, man.
You look like when you're like 55 and you look like you're 35. That's not bad.
Yeah, but they kind of
bad.
like peak at that age though, because some people look really good in their like old age and not as good in their young age. So you're peaking in your young age, which isn't like a bad thing. But like,
are you saying me personally?
No.
I mean, they already told me before we started the show that I'm like Pumbaa from Lion King, and then went on to say that Pumbaa is farts all the time,
is old
and is fat and stinky, old, fat and stinky, and he farts all the time.
Yeah, but I never said you were him.
No,
Nathaniel said you
I'm
were
only
him.
I'm only joking.
No, it's all
I
right.
said out of the two of it, if we had to be Pumbaa and what's the other one's name? Timon.
Yeah, you even look a bit like Timon. So.
I see that.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a funny company.
Like, if he you wouldn't have to buy a very expensive Timon outfit to turn him into Timon, would he? Like budget £5 one off Amazon. Done. Like, I mean, what is he again? What actually is Timon?
He's like a meerkat, right?
And Pumbaa's a warthog.
I mean, yeah, you look at Bullwinkle, you think meerkat. You look at me, you think warthog.
That's it, man.
When I was a young warthog.
I'd love to be one of those.
Oh, you're like
silence.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I'd love to be one of those people that are just like effortlessly cool, like a Brad Pitt. You know, someone that you watch and you just go,
meerkat.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm giving off. Not really the cool thing, the meerkat thing.
Yeah, Brad Pitt is
not really a cool thing, like a meerkat. What?
He seems pretty chill, doesn't he? He seems pretty. One thing that I really appreciate when you see celebs of such fame, and I would also put people like Christian Bale into this camp, is people that even though they are some of the most successful people of their field, and they literally have multiple, like insane amount of millions in their bank, like who knows, maybe hundreds of millions or at least tens of millions of pounds in their bank, they're still just like normal dudes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 100%.
Like I've heard that like Christian Bale's been just driving like the same pickup truck for like, the last 20 years. You see, did you know that Brad Pitt did a skit with the Jackass guys?
Really?
Apparently he even like requested to do it or something, so he got like in touch with like Jeff Tremaine, who was the guy that was like the producer and the director of Jackass, and they were like, yeah, okay, that'd be great. But apparently everyone got the memo, like, right guys, because obviously there was like quite a lot of like violent pranks and like stupid foolish pranks. They were like, right, let's not like do anything that's going to affect like Brad Pitt's career. Do you know what I mean? Like, because like whether it's because he's getting hurt or or anything like that. And then apparently like Brad Pitt came up with the idea of like dressing up as like monkeys or something like that.
Okay.
And I can't remember the exact skit, but it was like they dressed up as like monkeys, and then I'm pretty sure like Brad Pitt ended up getting like arrested in a monkey outfit or something. But they were saying in hindsight, because Jackass obviously wasn't as big at the time as it is now, they were like, in a way that was the most stupid thing they could have ever done. Brad Pitt was already like one of the most famous actors in the world. Like it would have like made their show like blow up, like probably like tenfold if they actually had Brad Pitt's face in an episode. But instead,
they covered his
he's
face
just in a monkey suit.
That's so
nobody
funny.
even like knew it was Brad Pitt, which
That's
I love that story. Hey man, how's it going?
Sorry about that,
Drew's
guys.
back, everyone. He's back. He's back. Oh no.
Oh no, he's not.
He's
Oh,
back.
Yeah, I am.
Is Drew back?
I am.
No, he's not.
he's pulling angry faces.
Oh wait,
he's
I
here.
can hear him. I
feel-
can't see
I feel
him.
like I am. I
right,
can
Drew?
see you. Yeah.
Oh, you're here.
I am here.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
like
no.
I feel like
I can see. We are one with the Force again. We are one with the Force.
Sorry about that.
So you
guys.
left us on a cliffhanger, Drew. You were saying that you saw something with Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah. It was just what we were saying about. artist stuff, and I saw a podcast with him, and he was saying, like, because they were just talking about all these, he's been in so many movies and things like that, and they asked the question, like, how far is like the real Brad Pitt as a person away from this idea that we, or this like visage that we have of you from your movies and stuff like that, and and he was just like, to be honest, I've never been able to like reconcile those two things. Like, when I finish a movie and I put all into a movie and all that stuff, like, I just have to go like real into my private life with like my family and stuff like that, and then I work on the next thing, and then I go into the public eye. But he was like, I absolutely hate going to you know, where you have to promote the movies and go to and do like public things.
I would as well.
And you have to put on, like we were saying about this, like this PR. Brad Pitt like image of like of like this godly figure. So he said he always found that really hard, and I can imagine that you just want your private life, wouldn't you? You want your family and your close friends and things like that, and then you'd want to smash whatever like thing you're doing creatively, like on a movie or something, and you couldn't walk around like that all the time.
No, I was speaking to someone about Brad Pitt the other day, because
hot topic. He's a hot topic.
He is a hot topic. He is a hot topic.
He is.
It was because
Have you seen his abs in Troy?
Drew, who fancies him more, Drew or Imogen?
Or me as well. I'm in it too.
Oh, Bullwinkle.
I'm in that camp now.
I can
comment.
appreciate a good look.
Me.
You know.
Yeah, if it's him in Troy.
Yeah.
If it's him in Troy, because Drew's the one that most appreciates fantasy and medieval dramas, it's Drew. If it's more Fight Club, it's Bullwinkle.
Yeah, Fight Club 7. Give me some of
Fight
that.
Club or 7. Give Bullwinkle some of that. What incarnation of Brad Pitt do you like the most, Imogen?
Inglourious Bastards.
I wouldn't be able to give you a movie, but just him in general, probably.
Just normal, everyday.
You just take the rest.
Normal, everyday BP.
I've seen just the pictures from when he was younger. Yeah, and even
Meet
now,
Joe Black.
Or still have
Meet Joe Black. She likes Meet Joe Black Pitt.
Have you seen that movie?
Oh God.
Is that the one? Is that the one with like Satan in it?
It's Death.
Oh, Death.
So Brad Pitt is Death.
That's
and
pretty
like
cool,
it's really cool, and like the guy who's the other really famous actor, it's
not is it the guy that was in Vikings season 1 randomly?
It's the guy that was hello Clarice.
Oh, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. It's he's
Anthony
like
Hopkins, is it?
Yeah, and he's like a super high up CEO, but he's gonna die soon, and he's got this like really beautiful daughter and stuff, and like Death finds him interesting, and like and basically he acts as his like right hand CEO man for like a few weeks, and he basically says like, you were gonna die last week, like you basically I wanna understand more about humans and your life and stuff, so I'm just gonna follow you around until I get bored, and then you're going to come with me, and that was like the premise of the movie. But yeah, he like Death falls in love with the daughter and stuff, and like it's really cool actually. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've seen bits of it when I was younger, because it's quite, by today's, like Imogen and Bullwinkle would consider it an old movie. It's like late 90s or early 2000s, isn't it? So it's like,
it's been on my wish list to watch for a while.
Yeah, I remember thinking it was a good movie, and I actually remember thinking it's one of those movies that, you know, if you ever hear it, like, oh, I need to give that a proper watch.
That's literally exactly what it's like for me.
I like early 2000 movies though.
Yeah,
I like those ones. I like the feel of it, like the feel of the movie.
I think that
like the quality.
I think that like more of an emphasis had to be put on like concrete writing back in the day, because they couldn't rely so much on special
and
effects.
They were all on
like
film cameras as well. Like that they've still got that thing where it's done with a film camera, like not digitally, and it's and yeah, so you've got to get the scene right. There are special effects and things like that, but it's much more about like the kind of visual thing that you're creating and stuff, and the storyline. Yeah,
and not so much like how to make a shot impressive by the CGI or whatever, but like even like the angle of the camera, things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, just like getting like really milking like everything
Yeah,
like, as much
and there
as
is
you can.
there is a film look. There's definitely like when I think, because there's even some 2000 movies in that I think and they look different to like modern ones, and I'm like, why is that? And I think it's because it's still done with film, like, you know.
Yeah, proper actual film.
Yeah, actual rolls of film, and there's like a grainy look to it. It's really crisp still, but there's this like graininess, and I think people can introduce that like digitally with effects and stuff, like, but there's definitely something. Like, I watched another one the other day, and it was with I was going to say Wesley Snipes then, not Wesley Snipes. What's the guy who went crazy and now he's making loads of like crap movies, but he was in Con Air and stuff like that.
What, Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, so like
I don't think he's gone crazy, is he?
Well, he like spent all of it. He went like on a crazy like spending spree and bought a
He's
T-Rex
an interesting guy,
and loads
he
of
was in like
properties and
hundreds and hundreds of movies, wasn't he? Because he just needed the money.
Did you know that
yeah, that's what I mean. So he was like, he just started acting on like ones that weren't just Hollywood blockbusters, but for a time he was just doing all like Hollywood blockbusters. And I watched one of his the other day, and it was like modern. You know, it wasn't like from like the 80s or the 90s, I don't think, or it was like early 2000s, but it still had that like really film look, and it was a funny concept. It was like he was this super high flyer that had the chance with this like the girl of his dreams, but he went away to college or to university, and she did as well, and he went to London, and and he said, I'll be back in a year. That was like the start of the scene, him going on the airport, and her like, I don't want you to go, I feel like it's going to be like the end or whatever, and he goes, and then the next bit in the movie is just him like 10 years later, and he's like a super high flyer, like head of like partner at a top law firm and things like that, has like Ferrari and all that stuff. I can't remember now, but and then like he meets this like black dude who's like really funny, and he's some, I don't know who the black dude is, whether it's like God or whatever, but like he basically like when he wakes up as if he would have stayed with this woman, and he's got like kids, and he's like got like a not very good job, he's just more like family man and stuff, and it's like he's just like, what the hell, where's my Ferrari, like, you know, and just like it's quite a funny movie, but yeah, it was like more modern but still had that film look, but yeah, he's cool.
He's the only actor I think of all time that's won both an Oscar and a Razzie. So, you know, like the Razzie is like you get an award for almost being like the worst actor of that year. So he's won, and obviously Oscar's considered like the creme de la creme. So
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. So you get Razzie.
I hadn't heard of the Razzie.
Not one you want to win.
No. But yeah, so isn't that interesting? He's on such a spectrum that he's like one year he's almost been like considered the best actor of that year, and then another year like the worst actor of that year. Isn't that interesting?
What do you think about this? Is what I was going to say with Brad Pitt earlier as well, and it stands true with Nicolas Cage. When I was speaking about him the other day, someone's instant reaction was just, "Oh, he's an awful person."
Nicolas Cage?
Brad Pitt.
Oh, Brad Pitt.
With the idea that because he cheated on Angelina Jolie.
No, Jennifer Aniston.
With
Angelina.
Oh, with Angelina. I knew there was an Angelina Jolie sitting in there somewhere. But the idea that he's an awful person and like is unredeemable because of that. And I sort of almost took issue with it.
So I think every man in the world.
This is what I was saying was, we don't know these people. No, you know, like we don't know the journey that he's gone on, or like his thoughts, or the situation, or
also I'm not even sure if it's concrete that he cheated on Jennifer Aniston. I think it's the only thing that's concrete
easy
is
to
that
judge
he left Jennifer Aniston for Angelina Jolie. That doesn't necessarily mean that he cheated on her. And also I think it's like, while, I mean, don't get me wrong, I remember because obviously, like, when that happened at the time, because they were almost one of Hollywood's favourite couples, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt.
I forgot they were even together. That's crazy,
mate. It was like in all the freaking magazines.
Even I knew this. Come on.
It was like on the front cover of all, like, you know, like the like Hello magazine and all those magazines that you freaking see in supermarkets and that, and it was in the news loads and that. But
big thing.
I think, relatively speaking, it's still like, do you know what I mean? Like when you say it's irredeemable, like to me that's like you've like
chosen another partner for my
to me
life.
Like the Southport killer is like irredeemable.
But this is just how like this is just how
not
parasocial. This is how parasocial people's relationships are with celebrities. It's insane. Think of the guy. He was just about to be Kang the Conqueror. And he was going to be...
Is it Jonathan Majors?
Jonathan Majors. He was literally in massive films. He was just in the newest Creed film. And I believe, I'm going to say allegedly, because I
don't know.
I don't want to get my facts wrong.
Isn't it like
But he was accused of either rape or like
some
sexual
sort of
assault,
sexual
like
indecency, basically.
something bad, basically, and essentially lost all of his jobs. He was about to be the next big bad Marvel villain.
Yeah.
Like got cut from that, got cut from all these other things, and then was proven innocent in the court of law afterwards. But like for someone like him, his career
damage
probably,
has been done.
Yeah, his career will
yeah.
probably not hit the heights that
What's
it would
his
have
name?
done. Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
search him up.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I recognise that name.
Yeah, I said it, as Bullwinkle said, he was Kang the Conqueror in Marvel, and he was in quite a lot of, like, he was in the Loki TV series, he was in Ant-Man, Quantumania, and I think a couple
good
of other...
actor.
Yeah, good actor, yeah. But just so you know, just for people just going back a little bit, as I said, me and Drew are like headlining this charity event. If anybody listening wants to go to it, it's called Stargazer Festival. It's on Saturday the 6th of June 2026 between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. Yeah, Stargazer Festival in loving memory of our little stars. It's like for charity, basically. It's for charity for people that are like long listening fans of the pod. You might remember that a couple of times we've had a lady called Amber Roberts on, and she's got a charity called The Light of Leighton. And it's all about it's a charity for like the bereavement of people, people that are bereaved because they've lost children, essentially. So it's a charity for that. So good cause, and there'll be like a barbecue and bar and inflatables and live music, magic,
Love a good barbecue.
discos, glitter, face glitter, and games and stuff like that. So
Glitter.
yeah, well, Imogen's there now.
Glitter
Imogen's
and
coming.
barbecue.
Imogen's coming.
Can you get your face glitters?
Me?
Yeah, before you go
Sure,
on.
sure.
Like all over. Like
Sure.
like can you get it? Can you do like a beard glitter? Like make your beard go glittery. Both
I
of
mean,
you.
I-
Both of you.
Actually,
oh my
yeah,
God, together.
just
Do you
a
want to be
glittery
our
beard.
like wardrobe
Yes,
lady?
yeah.
Imogen's going to be our wardrobe lady for it.
Oh my God.
We'll come on like the Bee Gees,
Yeah.
like white leotards.
You should just play Bee Gees tracks as well. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, as I said, Stargazer Festival between 12 p.m. 8 p.m. Saturday 6th of June 2026. And yeah,
Come on down.
Me and Drew will have to try and come up with something good for the day, and an eclectic mix of fun to play tracks. Some hopefully won't look too bad after playing right after Stevie Nicole. Is it Smith or Stevie Nicole Brown? Stevie Nicole
That's
Brown,
the
right?
one.
Yeah, she's really good, isn't she? She's really good.
Yeah, last played with her in the Cavern.
Oh yeah.
A few years ago now, though. It's crazy how fast time was going.
Do you know what I saw the other day, which I thought was really, really cool, which I thought, considering I didn't know this, I bet a load of other people didn't know this as well. It's all about like samples used in music. And I didn't realise that, the sample at the beginning of, is it Faint by Linkin Park? That's taken from a James Bond movie. Did you know that?
I did not.
That.
And I found it. I think I've got if you give me a second, I'll get up the actual, the original clip that was used in the James Bond movie. But I thought it was really interesting. And then I went through like a little bit of a rabbit hole of like what famous sort of samples. Yeah, so Linkin Park's 2003 hit "Faint" is driven by one of the most distinctive intros in rock, and it all began with a sample from the 1963 James Bond film From Russia with Love. Mike Shinoda discovered the orchestral string line from Tanya Meets Kleb, composed by John Barry, and flipped it, reversing, pitching it up, and chopping it into the dramatic loop that opens the track. Shinoda, who served as the band's co-lead vocalist and primary producer, handled the sample work and arrangement. The song was co-produced by Don Gilmore, who helped shape the track's aggressive polish and balance the raw energy with the radio-ready clarity. Listen. Let me see if I can get that for you. So this is obviously like the one that we would know. Let me see if I can get it back to the beginning. Yeah.
I can already hear how that would be in a James Bond film.
So this is the James Bond. So yes, this is the original.
Luften,
In James Bond.
synkerolig hand.
And this just goes through. So this is what they cut up as the sample, and then it will go through how they slowly. So it's already starting to sound a lot like the beginning of Faint.
That's so
And now
cool.
they put it higher, put a higher pitch. So it's already sounding like loads like the beginning of Faint now, isn't it? And they removed the bass track. and then they just repeated the last section 3 times, and then that's it.
So simple, but so good.
Yeah, so cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
I love the art of sampling.
Yeah,
Like, in
normally
rap
don't
music,
think
there's
it,
so
but
much of it.
Rap, hip hop.
Like-
It's where you normally think of it, isn't it?
Yeah, like there's so many famous ones that I can think of. Like I used to do almost art of sampling shows on Rap Radar sometimes, and like there was I know Kanye had one on a song called Fourth Dimension, where he found this weird like Christmas song about I think it was a German Christmas song about Santa,
Yeah.
and then he like reversed it and like put it in this weird octave, and when you listen to it, it sounds like so demonic. But then you listen to it in its normal way, and it's just some guy like singing about Santa.
Nicky C's really good at making samples, isn't he? Nicky C's like really, really good at that. And I think because he's a really intelligent guy as well, and he's very cultured, he's used like loads of old, like really old records, isn't he? And like bits from horror movies and different stuff. Like, because he's done a lot of, he's done like basically a lot of the music for that guy who he does rap stuff with. What's his name? Six. That's it. Yeah. What do they call themselves? Like Six and, is it just Six and Nicky C? Or when they do stuff together? And Nicky C basically does all the music and Six just sings over it. It's that guy Josh, isn't it? Josh something. Can't remember his name now.
Yeah,
Josh Goff, we used to call him back in the day.
He does loads of beats for him.
Yeah, we used to call him Josh Goff back in the day. I don't know his real name. But yeah, Six, it's almost like that death rap more style. I also think Necro is his samples are really good. There's a rapper calls his stuff death rap called Necro from New York. And I guess because I really like horror movies and stuff and more metal, like he takes a lot of like metal samples and like horror movie, like deep cut like horror movie samples and that, and it just like, as you were saying, Bullwinkle, about that one, just sounds like pretty evil, you know, but cool. But another one which I thought was really funny was apparently you know Toxic by Britney Spears.
Yeah.
She that's taken from a Bollywood movie.
Is it actually?
Yeah. And apparently, I don't know if it was like her or her like record producer or whatever. Apparently, was just watching the movie, and they were just like, they literally said, "I'm going to turn that into a global pop hit." And then they made the. Let me see.
You're toxic, I'm slipping under.
So this is the original. You can hear it already, can't you?
Oh.
So this is a Bollywood movie. A 1981 Bollywood film made by Ek Juya Ke Lai. And it was turned into the Britney Spears hit Toxic. Apparently Toxic is the track that got Britney Spears her first Grammy as well. So
Hear it.
So this is the sample that they took. And yeah, this is yeah, that's so cool, isn't it?
Baby, can't you see?
Do you know what I love about songs like that? Because it's so different from a lot of the stuff that me and you listen to, Drew. It's so simple, but like
the stuff that I listen to.
But like the beauty is in the simplicity. So they've taken a sample from something they've found and just thought, oh, that's cool. I reckon I could like tweak that, turn it into something good. But then if you think about it, like once she's singing, it's so simple in the background. It's just like some random beat. Do you know what I mean? It's not complicated at all, is it?
Yeah,
you think of like a freaking like. You think of like a 10-minute long Opeth song and what goes into that and how complicated that is, and then you compare that, it's just some sample from some Bollywood film just chopped up with just like, and can't you see? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not really much to it, is it? But
I find it crazy when you see those interviews of like the hit makers from back in the day, that like all of those sort of big 2000s to 2010 artists that would have had like ridiculously big hits, they would all just go into studio sessions like together, and there would just be this one guy that'd be like, right, I don't know, what's a band? NSYNC, we're giving you this, right? Someone else, we're giving you this. Maroon 5, we're giving you this, and they would all just be like #1 hits for like months. And it was just this one guy that was like, he would make the biggest songs of the year all just in one little session, just give them to all the artists and just take money for it.
Yeah, or like it was quite common back in the day. So like artists would write songs, but for other people. So like Glenn Campbell wrote some of the Beach Boys hits. Glenn Campbell also wrote some of Nancy Sinatra's hits. Glenn Campbell was one of the main ones back in the day. He was like well known for just, he wrote a lot of songs, but like not for himself. He wrote them with the idea, like, I'm almost going to gift this song to somebody.
Ed Sheeran does that sometimes. He wrote some of One Direction's songs.
Did he really?
Yeah, and Harry Styles wrote one of Ariana Grande's songs.
He's a modern day Glenn Campbell.
There's one called Just a Little Bit of Your Heart, I think, or something like that. Just a little bit or something like that. It's an Ariana Grande song, but Harry Styles
It's more interesting if that's taken literally.
What do you mean?
Like, a little piece of your heart.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No, it's a sad song. It's like a really
gruesome.
Sad song.
Like
really
I just like the idea that it was had a bit of like a dark edge
I'm going to take your heart.
There's a little bit of your heart.
Yeah, you know Little Things by One Direction? That's written by Ed Sheeran.
Don't.
Oh.
I don't know it. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, you don't know One Direction. I still got to culture you.
Yeah, but the culture wars the culture wars are back in effect.
I think one of the things as well, just on the sample thing, why they work so well with like orchestral or strings and things like that, it's like you think of what goes into actually creating those parts and the instrumentalists and the recording of like something orchestral always sounds like pretty epic and pretty like so you can cut it up and like put it into a simple beat, but you're still like retaining the epicness of like some strings and stuff, and I think that like resonates with people a lot as well.
Man, I'd really like to get more into like making samples and stuff like that, because like I love watching movies, and I love watching more like like deep diving into stuff like both music and movies. Do you know what I mean? And I like so many different genres of music and that, whether it's like classical music or whatever. And I said all these like old school retro horror movies and just like movies in general. I'd love to make like some like mental samples, like do you know what I mean, and stuff like that. It's just putting the time into it, isn't it? But I would like to.
And now with like like the AI thing that we've used to make the backing tracks for those things, like you can even like put like a track, like you say Linkin Park took the drums out or took the bass out and stuff, like you can separate the stems out of like so if you just wanted the strings or you just wanted like, because that's what always annoyed me with sampling back in when I tried to do it ages ago. It's just like you couldn't just I had to wait for a section of a song where it was
you
only
can't just take the guitars or just take the bass,
and there's only a bit that I'd want, but like now that's possible to do with like these AI breakdowns. A whole new world to you. So I'll have to try and do that again, but or you know what I mean, like you could do that pretty easily, and we've got like 500 minutes with that program as well, so
for sure, man. Do you guys want to take a little bit of a sharp turn here, a spooky tale?
I do. Yeah. I always love a spooky tale, man.
This has been one of those classic pods. To be honest, we do that all the time. We have got to be like the most eclectic show / pod, radio / podcast, because like most, obviously, it's like they fit more of like a theme or an niche, whereas we just talk about such random stuff.
Just whatever
comes to mind.
Yeah, whatever comes to mind, like all sorts, like a mishmash of stuff. But yeah, this is a tale from Gary, Indiana, and I looked into it a bit just to make sure it's not one of those ones where everyone's like, oh, this was just like made up or whatever. And it does seem to have some legitimacy. All right. Like it does seem to be like a genuinely interesting tale. So yeah, this is the story of the Ammons family or Ammons family in Gary, Indiana. So social services went to see this family. They were checking in on the mother of the kids, because the kids had stopped going to school. Neighbours said that they could hear screaming coming from the house at night, and they heard what sounded like people talking to something that wasn't there. The caseworker from Child Protective Services, we call it social services in the UK, stepped inside the house. Apparently, they reported afterwards that it was a quiet, dusty house. She had to look around everywhere, to check that there wasn't any threat in this house for the children. So she checked the basement. Apparently, when she went down into the basement, she said that something wrapped its hands around her throat, but there was nothing there. She said that she had this overwhelming feeling like whatever was doing this to her wanted her out. She didn't finish the inspection, as you can imagine. She ran out the house and fled. Days later, the kids were taken to a hospital for evaluation, and that's where the story should have ended, but it didn't. Inside the ER, with a nurse and a social worker watching, the 9-year-old boy stood up, walked backwards towards the wall and then apparently climbed it. There's no evidence of this, but both the nurse and the social worker said that the 9-year-old boy, with his hands and his feet like against the wall from the back, then climbed the wall
like a back bend.
Yeah,
That is freaky.
3 steps back and then up the wall backwards.
Whoa, like full on Spider-Man.
He then did apparently a very an inhuman looking flip, like literally like a backflip or a front flip or something over his grandma without touching a thing before landing on the floor. This looks so unnatural.
She's got skills.
Yeah, he's just a parkourer. But this apparently looked so unnatural that the nurse ran out of the room screaming, and the caseworker refused to go near the children, again refusing to work on the case further. Everyone who saw it wrote official reports, and they all said the same thing. They said that the way that the child looked and moved wasn't human. This is when the police got involved. Obviously, these guys were local detectives. These weren't ghost guys.
I feel like people might describe my movements as not being human sometimes.
What, do you walk up walls and do flips off them?
No, I was trying to do flips on holiday, and I think I probably looked. I think it was probably something like how you're describing there, man.
That's not surprising. You do always say, you want to learn how to do a backflip.
Yeah, I'd call it a backflip. But I don't know if anyone else would. But I gave it my best shot.
You have the best dance moves.
Thank you, man.
I always, whenever I watch our Negroni cocktail video back, your moves always crack me up. Yeah. If anyone wants to go watch that, Negroni cocktail vid on YouTube, Pandora's Box podcast, go check out the Negroni cocktail vid. We inspired
by the praying mantis.
What, your moves?
Yeah.
Oh, right. No, yeah, so the song wasn't invited.
No.
We did it.
Inspired by a Negroni cocktail.
Yeah, for people that didn't know, we did that because we knew some people in Bristol that were breaking the world record for the largest ever Negroni cocktail. And I wrote like a melody, and I went around Drew's house. We basically wrote the song. Drew produced it and did some mental cool like keys and stuff like that. And yeah, we ended up writing a song for it. And you can watch the video and listen to the song on YouTube. Negroni Cocktail, Pandora's Box podcast. Go check that out. I'm pretty happy with that.
I love that song, man.
It's funny, isn't it?
So good.
It's just a fun little track, isn't it? It's just a fun little track. And yeah, thanks for you, Drew, for pushing me on my vocals on that one, because I remember being around your house and I was gonna like sing it a bit more safe, and you were like, I can hear it like a level up. So I literally like pushed my vocals to the limit, like on that one. Literally went full ham. But anyway, back to this story. So, yes, the nurses, social workers, they will not work on this inhuman case. So some local detectives were brought in to do an investigation on this. As I said, obviously, these weren't ghost guys. These were just normal, everyday detectives. They brought backup flashlights and cameras with them to report anything that they found, though. Inside the house, strangely, never heard this in a paranormal case before, apparently they found oil dripping from all of the blinds in the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they wiped all the blinds clean, not really seeing any like reason why the blinds should have oil on them. But 10 minutes later, the oil was back and the blinds were dripping with oil again.
Ectoplasma.
Yeah, ectoplasm. I'd be interested to hear what like someone like Claire would think of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, demon jizz. That's right, sir. That's exactly
Is it like P. Diddy's house?
Yeah, I reckon it turned out it was P.
Diddy party.
Yeah. It was a freak off.
Baby oil.
But yeah, Drew knows a thing or two about baby oil. I've heard some stories. Slippy slide. Yeah, what interesting as well, the detectives' radios stopped working when they were inside the house. One officer said he heard growling coming from the basement.
Definitely P. Diddy party.
Yeah. But when he went down there was nothing there. Another person said that in the basement it sounded like there was somebody in there breathing underwater. That's a very specific...
That is horrible. That's a horrible sound.
Who breathes underwater?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what I mean? You can almost like imagine that how it sounds.
You can't like breathe underwater, can you? It's just choking. It's just like...
Yeah, but like, say if you were like, say, blowing out air underwater.
Oh, okay.
Or like
a bubble, like
yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe, yeah.
Just choking on water sound.
Yeah.
Imagine a choking on water sound. Just
They took photos. They took extensive photos of the house. One photo came back with a figure standing in the window. The problem, no one was in the house. Yeah, so they took a picture of the house from the outside, and when they but there was nobody in the house at the time. I don't actually have a picture or anything of this, but it'd be quite interesting to see if
What's it called, man?
Look at the Gary, Indiana haunting photo, I reckon.
Okay.
The place is called Gary.
Gary,
Literally
Indiana
spelt like
Demon House.
Gary, Indiana Demon House photo. Have a look at that. Found it?
I've got something, man. I've got something. Let's see if we can get a look.
I mean, to be fair, I could try and get it up on the because that's really blurry. Let me see if I can get it up. On
I see it. I see it.
Oh, let's have a look. Oh yeah. Oh, that's actually well creepy. That looks pretty legit, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
That looks pretty legit. I wasn't expecting something that clear.
Pretty creepy, man.
It's like a white figure though, not like a you usually see that the figures in houses like a big black like shadow almost.
Don't be racist.
I'm not. I'm not. No. Like you almost see like a shadow figure. But
yeah, no, I know. Sorry, I saw some low hanging for you. So I had to take it.
I was waiting for you to say that as well. That's the bad thing.
Yeah.
That's twice today now.
Is it?
Yeah,
I can't even remember the first time.
Well.
I blanked.
I was talking about the Robbie Williams monkey movie. And
yeah.
Called me a racist and that as well.
Yeah, we'll leave it. We'll leave it at that.
But like 5 more times in his class, it's bullying.
Yeah. Bullying what? Robbie Williams monkeys?
No,
or
bullying me.
Oh, bullying you. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm just not included.
I'm like accusing you of bullying.
Great.
So they took a picture. Came back with somebody in the window. Problem was, no one was in the house. The lead officer, who was working in the case, who had 20 plus years experience. Oh wait a minute! 20 years on the job.
Oh, Netflix is apparently making.
He signed a sworn statement after walking out. Oh yeah, sorry. So the lead officer that was working the case, who had 20 plus years experience, signed a sworn statement after walking out of the house. He said, and I quote, "I don't believe in ghosts, but something was in that house." And I like the fact that he said that because I feel that's really credible because it's not like over the top.
Yeah.
You know? Like I feel like this is like a rational guy who's probably like a healthy skeptic. And he's like, look, he's openly saying, look, I don't believe in ghosts. But at the same time, there's something freaking weird going on.
Yeah. I prefer that.
And I think that's way more credible than if he actually had said like either something over the top or if he'd actually
full on went
downplayed it. Yeah. Years later, the house was bought by a man called Zach, don't laugh, Baggins.
Yeah, I'm literally just saying that. Hey, he made a documentary.
Wow. Oh, what? I want to see that. What's it called?
Demon House.
It literally is called Demon House. It's called Demon House.
I want to watch Demon House.
Paranormal investigator.
Let's go watch
Zach
Demon
Bagans
House.
documents the most authenticate case.
Authentic probably. I don't know.
Authenticated. I think
okay, cool.
There we are. We got it eventually.
Yeah, we got there.
Demon House. I want to see that.
Yeah, so the years later, the whole house was bought by a man called Zach Baggins, no relation of Bilbo Baggins. Well, not that I know of, anyway. He spent one night inside the house, and then he tore the whole thing down. Tore the house down.
That's so over the top. That's so good.
That's dramatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
He never said what he saw in the house. He did have footage of it. He did take some footage, apparently, that first night he was in the house. But he never showed anyone, and apparently he burned the footage and then tore the house down. And he never told anyone what he saw. He simply bought the house, spent one night in there, and then ripped the house down.
I wonder what this
That's intense,
documentary
isn't it?
thing's on then, because it's an hour and 35 minutes, made in 2019.
Right.
Called Demon House with him in it.
Right.
I wonder what that's on then.
That's pretty cool,
like,
isn't it?
What it's about, because that's all I see of it. Like
that is pretty cool, isn't it?
Strange.
That is what makes the story so interesting, isn't it? The fact that he won't even tell anyone. What could he have possibly seen?
Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? Do you want to hear another cool little? Do you want to hear another little cool story?
I do.
I thought this one was quite intriguing as well. So we've had our sort of demonic, ghosty, supernatural one. Mm-hmm. This more is like an open-ended mystery, which I think could be taken in several ways.
Okay.
So this case is simply dubbed "The Ones Who Ran." Basically, Lake Managua in Nicaragua, which is in the Caribbean.
Okay.
A load of footprints were found, fossilized footprints. They look like they were left yesterday, but they've actually been there for over 2,000 years, preserved in volcanic mud. Still soft-looking, still running. Not walking, not exploring. From the strides, we can tell that this was a full-out sprint. But what's interesting is that it seems like there were entire families of people all running for their lives at the same time. Feet of different sizes, from young children, all women, and men of all ages and all sizes, sprinting what it seems like for their lives from something. Bare feet, all heading in the same direction, almost like they were trying to escape something. But this is what makes this interesting. All of a sudden, the footprints just stop. Every single footprint just stops. Like everybody just vanished mid-step. There's no fall, no turn of pace, no slowing down. Everyone went from a full sprint to suddenly vanishing. Really just one last footprint and then nothing.
Is it not because of the volcano?
That's what I was
some
going to
They
say.
just were running away from like the
some-
lava and then just like got like swallowed.
Yeah, some people theorize that might be the case. In some places, it looks like the ground looks torn, like something massive dragged itself through the mud. This is another thing that's weird, though. So yeah, there are places where the ground looks torn, almost like there's some massive.
Like they've been
thing.
dragged along. Yeah,
Like some massive thing was like dragging itself through the mud.
Right.
No claws, no paws or anything like that. Just deep, smooth gouges. Like whatever it was didn't leave its own tracks, just damage to the earth. Archaeologists think it might have been a volcanic eruption and that people were fleeing the ash, much like what happened in Pompeii or something like that. But there are no remains of people, unlike with Pompeii. You know, in Pompeii, people were buried under like 20, 30 feet of ash, something like that. And then
also
as a result, it preserved the people.
Wouldn't it as well, like, you know, if there was like magma or something, it would like cover up the footprints. So do you know what I mean? If it's following them, and then it gets to a certain
I know
point,
what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it would go over all of the footprints where it's been following them. So it's like what could it?
Yeah, like obviously we're not like geologists or volcano experts, but I've been to Pompeii. I know you've been to Pompeii
I've
as
been to
well.
Pompeii.
I
Michael.
really want to go to Pompeii.
Very interesting. It's massive.
It's huge.
It's massive.
I really want to go.
It's actually the size of the place is one of the things. Is the
Mate, it feels like you're just walking around like the whole of
Yeah.
Bridgewater.
Stop,
It's
I've got big
ridiculously
FOMO.
big.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, like, you know, as we were saying, it was like buried. So it's like, so everything's buried. So like, there's once they excavated it, there's like actually it's like way better preserved than say like Rome is, because everything's
God.
just it's almost like like a time capsule, isn't it?
Yeah, literally.
So whether it's like the people or the buildings or anything like that, it's actually like well preserved. But the interesting thing about this, as I said, no bones have been found, no villages have been found. There are no signs that any of these people made it or lived before. There's just footprints. So the question is, what were they running from? And where did these people go? Some people, as you can imagine, have even theorized that this might have been like some ancient mass alien abduction, or some other weird like cryptid event, like some giant creature, like, you know, lift them up into the sky or whatever.
Could
But
it be
very
like
interesting.
ape feet or something like that? Like, do they have like feet similar to humans? I haven't really
No,
looked
yeah,
at their feet.
they're human
Like,
feet. They're
They
homemade-
are like 100%. Okay.
It's from 2,000 years ago, so it's not like it's like 2 million years ago or something. Yeah, it's 2,000 years ago
Okay.
in Lake Managua in Nicaragua, which is one of the Caribbean islands. 2,000-year-old, perfectly preserved feet of people of all ages, all running,
Wow.
sprinting. They can tell from the gait of the feet that everyone was sprinting full pelt, and all of a sudden completely vanished.
It seems like, to me,
Mm.
the fact that they're preserved in volcanic ash / rock
Mm-hmm.
probably has something to do with it, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, no, but that's the thing. There was no necessarily evidence of a volcanic eruption. That was
Oh.
just
Right,
theory.
okay.
So archaeologists think it might have been a volcanic eruption.
Oh, I
Oh.
thought you said their footprints were like encased in volcanic ash or like
yeah,
rock or
like
something.
in like the volcanic mud or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
Volcanic floor.
the feet were preserved in volcanic mud,
Yeah.
but other than that, there's no evidence of a volcanic eruption.
Oh right, so they could have been preserved even without an eruption having taken place.
I assume so. As I
Oh,
said, I mean,
okay.
Right.
obviously not a geologist or anything like that, but you know, it does seem, other than the footprints being in volcanic mud, very different than what you would think of as like a Pompeii
Yes.
or something like that. Either way, I think that's a fascinating case. I'd never heard of
Very.
that one before. And I was sort of surprised because whenever I hear a new one or something like this I've never heard of before, like the one I said before as well, never heard it. And I think I've milked a lot of mysteries and different supernaturals, as we all have, because we're all very into it. So I always love it when I hear something new and I think, oh, I haven't heard of that one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you would think even if it was like a volcanic eruption or something, at some point they would have like strayed off course, or like there would have been a bit of a mess where you'd have been like running in the same spot, like just not really knowing what to do.
Not just suddenly. And I guess what's weird as well is if the volcanic mud, say it like goes on for, I don't know, 50 foot, 100 foot, I don't know obviously how far, but if there was suddenly a change in the geological formation, when you like see like sort of if you're at the seaside and you see where obviously over the years like the tectonic plates have shifted and you can almost see like the lines, and that's obviously where they find dinosaurs and stuff, because it's almost like every line will be like 1 million years or whatever. Then if there was like a change in the geological formation, then you'd be like, oh, okay, well that explains it. I guess if it's just like the ongoing volcanic mud is unchanged, then why would the footprints suddenly not be there? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, an interesting case nonetheless, isn't it? Do you want to hear another really weird story? I think these sort of stories are like really creepy.
I love the ones that get you thinking, man.
Oh man, me too. This one isn't so much of like a mystery. It's just really, really creepy. Okay. Really creepy. So this took place in 1994 in Vermont. A family was renovating their century-old farmhouse when they noticed something odd. One of the bedrooms was slightly smaller than it should have been based on the outside structure. The father tapped the walls and realised that one section behind a built-in bookshelf sounded hollow. So with the help of a friend, he pulled the shelf off the wall and discovered a padlocked wooden door. It wasn't on any of the floor plans of his house, and no one in the family had ever known it was there. When they broke the lock and pushed the door open, they found a narrow, windowless room. Inside, they found a small mattress, empty food cans, a broken flashlight, and dozens of crayon drawings that were taped to the wall. But what disturbed them most were the pictures of them sleeping.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's horrid.
There were weird crayon drawings of the mother in bed.
Ew.
There was a crayon drawing of what looked like the son watching TV. There was a crayon drawing of what looked like the father shaving, all from angles only visible from inside the house. Police investigated but found no records of the space ever being listed, sold or used. They couldn't determine how long someone had been inside or if they were still nearby. But the family moved out 2 weeks later. The father said in a statement, "I still think about what we might have missed hearing while we slept."
So
creepy
weird.
story.
How
Frogger.
get in and
A
out?
frogger. That's what I think, man.
That's like we have movies on that.
Do you reckon he would have just like gone out of the actual door then, like I guess so. When they were asleep, not like crawled in and then just when they're awake, just stayed in that room?
I guess so. I feel like there's more information I'd like to know about that. Like once they were inside the room, was there any other way to access the outside other than like the bookshelf? Because you think it would make a bit of noise, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? If you had to get out of there, you'd think that it would make enough noise that people in the house would wake up.
Hurry.
Well, did it open in like a way that like you can't open it unless the bookshelf is moved, or was it like?
Well, yeah.
Did it open inwards or?
That's what I mean. I mean, I assume.
Otherwise, how did he get? Like, literally, how did he get out?
I mean, I assume it must have been able to be opened in a way that obviously he could get out, from the inside, because otherwise you would just starve to death in there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But it seemed like, regardless of what was going, it seemed like he could access the outside and would, But it seems like he was like wandering around.
Well, we say
house.
he was it?
Well, it could have been. Well, yeah, he or she. I'm imagining
it. Cat lady.
I think it's more crazy old cat was living in there with a cat. I think it's for some reason. I think it's more the thing that a demented man would do than a demented man. I think demented woman, and I think like Karen meme. I think demented man. I think living in someone's wall.
Yeah. Crayon drawings and a mattress.
Do you know what I mean? Like obviously a gross generalisation.
Maybe it was someone who used to live there, like someone who was like.
They're called froggers, aren't they? Do you know?
Yeah, or sold the
house.
Have you ever watched
froggers?
Have you ever watched the film Parasite?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's so good.
That's what I mean by a film. It's like almost like a film.
Yeah, Parasite is essentially like a film almost
What about
based off
Frogger?
that idea. Yeah, about like a family based on that sort of idea. And man, you've got to watch it. I saw recently it got
Sounds
ranked
great.
as the #1 film of all time.
What?
I can't remember who ranked it, but it was
Someone
ranked as
reckons
the
it's the
#1 film.
best film ever.
Man, to be honest, for me, it's up there.
Really?
Yeah.
It probably is one of the best
How have
films
I
I've
never
ever
heard of it
watched.
before?
It's so good.
Parasite.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of that. Have you, Drew?
No.
I can't believe you guys never heard of this. It won like
How old is the movie?
5-6 years.
And
Something
the
like
premise is that there's a Frogger. There's a Frogger.
I wouldn't want to spoil it for you.
Sure.
I wouldn't want to spoil it for you, but it's really good. It's like an Asian film. I don't know who directed
South
it.
Korean, yeah.
South Korean, yeah, like 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm pretty sure it's the
Bong Joon-ho.
highest rated on IMDb. Came out in 2020,
Bong
and it won literally every award. Like it won all the
Wow.
Oscars and stuff like that. Like
I did watch
so good.
I did watch a really.
I don't think I watched the whole of it. I think I watched bits of it, and then
Right.
I probably got scared or something.
I
'Cause
watched.
recognised.
I did watch a really good Frogger horror movie
Mm.
about 5 years ago. This was like I think like an American movie. I'll try and find out what that was called. But I remember I really enjoyed that.
Mm.
Let me see if I can find out what it was called. Frogger horror movie. That surely it will come up. Horror movie. And it was quite disturbing as well. I remember thinking it was quite disturbing. It might be I See You.
I see.
Yeah, it might potentially be.
That was
called-
creepy.
It might potentially.
God, this
Yeah,
podcast
you did a
is
good
going to
job.
start freaking me out in a minute.
That photo's a bit creepy.
What's that, Drew?
This podcast in itself is going to start freaking me out in a minute.
We're going to
You
leave
have
and
nightmares.
Drew will just be
Yeah.
like on his own in
Checking
his
his
room.
walls.
In Ludlow, just like, oh my god, am I
We've
going to
got
get
a
abducted
loft
by
here.
aliens?
Yeah.
Is there a Frogger in my loft?
I had a
Yeah.
zombie nightmare.
Is there
the
a
other night. It was
demon or-
terrifying.
It might be the movie I See You, but I'm not sure. Because I just typed in Frogger horror movie, and that seems to be the one that came out. So, yeah.
Zombie Dream. That sounds a bit scary as well.
It was absolutely terrifying. Like
Cool.
I felt like crying. It was not very nice.
Zombie Dream?
I had a zombie nightmare.
You did?
Yeah, and it was really, really, really scary. And like
Talk us through it. Talk us through it.
I can't remember exactly what happened. It was on Friday, but every single person I loved died, and I felt like crying. I woke up and burst into tears. It was horrible.
Serious?
Yeah.
Was this after watching 28 Years Later?
No, so that was the day I was supposed to watch it,
Right.
and then I had the nightmare that night, and I was like, oh my god.
Put you off a little bit.
Yeah, and that's why I was so scared going into the movie. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be terrible.
Mm.
And then it wasn't too bad. The movie, my dream was
Yeah.
probably scarier. But I mean,
Sounds like it.
every single person I loved was in a room with me, and they all died except for me. I just had to sit and watch them die, and then I woke up just before the zombie got me. So I never died, but.
Big shot.
Yeah.
That's freaky,
Yeah,
man.
never died.
I don't generally have like nightmares and stuff like that because Meg always tells me about like she has like crazy dreams of like she had one last night and that as well. And I remember my sister Sav told me that she had a dream. This was like a few years ago that we were all like in this out in this like log cabin, and I just like turned into a zombie and like started eating everyone. Just started trying to eat everyone. And like the end of her
Ugh.
dream was just me like getting her leg, and then she woke
If it
up.
was
and I was
anyone,
like,
Drew, it'd be you.
I was
man.
like, Sav, what a horrible dream to have about your big brother. You know, I never eat you.
Maybe it was after she picked you up when you were wasted at my wedding.
Do you
Yeah.
know something really spooky?
Because you were probably acting a bit like a zombie then. So yeah,
Something
go on,
spooky
Imogen.
about nightmares. When I was little,
Yeah.
I used to have reoccurring nightmares. Like by reoccurring, I mean there would be a character that would always be in it.
So it wasn't the same dream every
No,
time.
no,
Was
it
it the
was-
man?
it was
Was
the
it the
one-
man in the dreams?
No,
We
no,
talked
it's not
about this
him.
on
No,
the phone.
don't. That scares me.
It wasn't like the man with the hat or anything like that.
So you know Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
No.
You know the people. Oh well.
What's that?
It's a film.
Right.
And they've got like there's main like scary people are people with no eyeballs. Like they've got like.
What? It's a horror
blank-
movie.
Is it this man?
No, it's not him. I hate that. That's scary. No, it's not him. I don't.
It's
not
quite
him.
creepy.
I don't like. I'm gonna have nightmares about him tonight.
Oh, yeah, but
I had night. Yeah. So
Do you want me
it was
to hold
like.
it back a little bit? Or?
Try and get us focused. There we go, man. We're getting that.
Oh, there he is. There's the man that like
Scary.
loads and loads of people have claimed to,
The
like millions of
eyebrows.
people worldwide have claimed to see this man in his dream. We talked about it on a
That's
pod about
scary.
100 episodes ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just used to have people with no eyeballs, and they'd be like, follow it. Like my dream would start normal, and then by the end of it, it was like these people with no eyeballs like chasing me, and I'd end up like running
So
away.
other
It
than
sounds
that-
like funny from like out here, but in my dream
Yeah.
I was like little. It was terrifying.
Everything sounds funny in hindsight.
No, that is
Absolutely
intense.
terrifying.
That does
Like,
sound
when you
intense.
live in it.
happened like for years.
yeah.
Like, and then I watched Miss Peregrine's Home in the cinema, and I started like proper like crying because I was like, how do they know who's in my dreams?
So,
and I hadn't heard of the
Whoa.
books.
so when you say the
beforehand.
same man, did you just mean these people,
So,
the eyeballs?
yeah, so like the eyeballs.
Oh, so that
people,
was
and it
before the
like-
film as well, before you'd seen the film.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
yeah,
crazy.
so before the film, and it's like I'm pretty sure in the film is that they have white eyes.
right.
In my dreams, it was black eyes, so just full black,
Right.
and like. Other than that, it was like,
So they were like
it was always the
demons?
same people.
So it wasn't
as well,
that their
and they'd, like,
eyeballs
chase
weren't
me.
there?
No, it was just
They were
they
like
had no
black
like
eyes.
just black eyes, and they'd like my dream would start off normal. They'd be like in the distance, and I'd be doing something, and then I'd see them, and then after I see them, they just start chasing after me, and I'd like sprint away. It was like
Were they
absolutely
fast?
terrifying.
Were they
Yeah,
fast?
it was flipping terrifying. Honestly,
They were like 28 days
Abs-
later zombies.
no, seriously, like it would start off, except for I'm not naked.
Yeah.
They would like it would like start off normal, and then suddenly like I'd be like a normal dream, like I'd be like pretending I was like a teenage girl going out like myself, but as a teenager, like shopping or something like that. Then suddenly they're just like chasing me, and I'm like, oh my god, that's terrifying.
Wow.
I wake up and then I watch I like think of SpongeBob, then I go back to sleep, and I'd be fine.
Instantly fine.
Yeah, honestly,
What was
terrifying.
my scariest ever dream I had as a kid, and I can remember this dream from back in the day.
Back in day.
Back in there. And it was horrible, man. It was a horrible...
That was like a found footage horror there. That was like Blair Witch
This is like
Project.
a horror movie.
Yeah, Blair Witch.
moving around.
Sorry,
It was...
it's wonky now.
It was this
That's
film.
right, it's fine. It's good.
I had this dream when I was a
Okay.
kid
Yeah.
of a Jim Henson like
Muppet.
puppet show
Right.
called The Hoobs, and it was
What,
these
so you
guys.
developed this...
No,
Oh,
this,
sorry.
this was a real thing.
Oh, right, those were the
this was
Who's.
a real thing.
Did they
and the
go a bit
dream-
demonic in that?
You see how they're in like a white room?
Yeah.
The dream was like a little bit like sleep paralysis, where I couldn't move and I couldn't do anything. And the Hoobs, one by one, were torturing me.
So weird.
They like sat me down. They would come up on the big screen. They'd be like, "There's nowhere you can go," in their like weird voice. And then they just come in and like torture me one by one. And I was like just strapped to a chair, just getting like fully tortured
In
by
this,
the
like,
Hoobs.
What, in this like blank white room? Was it almost
Yes.
like you were in like this weird white universe where you just, you
Yes.
could just not escape?
There was,
I
like,
reckon
no
you were
end,
abducted
no
by
beginning.
aliens, and that was the only memory that you have. Is like is they.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought? Do you know what I thought? And I can't believe I didn't think of this at the time, Drew. Right. So you know we had probably arguably the biggest guest we've ever had on the show was called Pat McNamara. He's a really big star. He's like an ex Special Forces guy from the States. He's got a really big following now on like social media and stuff. And he also does like self-defense classes and he does like gun shooting lessons and all sorts.
Legend.
He does all this stuff. Yeah, absolute legend. Shout out Pat Mac. Yeah, such a cool guy as well. Such a decent cool guy. Like metalhead, etc. Gardener, teacher, awesome cool guy. But do you remember Drew was telling us about that story about when he turned his life around? And it reminded me because it was like.
Or was it an owl or a bird?
Yeah, because I can't believe I didn't think of it at the time. But there's that whole story, and it's based on a true story, isn't it? But there's that movie, is it like Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind?
Yeah.
And in it, the people that are having
owl.
the people that are going to these therapists and having these, what are they called? They're basically trying to get like sorted out for their for their issues or whatever. And the person's hypnotizing them and trying to like uncover their memories. And their memories that they think was an owl turns out to be like an alien.
That's what made me think of these things. It's like you're almost getting imprinted with an image in your memory of what they want you to think is, but really it's something else.
What type of torture?
Or I did the worst kind. I think I remember what was even creepier about it is I think I woke up with like bruises, and I remember my dad saying that he
Definitely
came in the
aliens, man.
night, and I was like just on the floor just crying.
What the hell?
That's
That's pretty dark.
man.
Yeah, but when we
bless.
had Pat Mac on the show, right, he was telling us about he went through his dark period of his life. He had this really bad breakup with like the mother of his children. It was super low. He was like drinking every day. He'd left the military at this point, but he hadn't started doing all the stuff that he does nowadays. So he was in this like weird no man's land in his life. And he said the thing that made him have like his turn around his life. He said that he was like one day he was like, what didn't he say? He was like sat on the bed or something. Like he had this garage and he had this mezzanine floor in the garage or something. And he was sat on the bed
With his child.
and then Yeah, and he said he just suddenly noticed that there was this like owl in the window, just like looking at him.
Wow.
And something about that made him turn his life around.
Wow.
But that's literally what a lot of people that like it. Maybe they
owls are so cool though.
Owls are super cool.
They're aliens.
But in like that whole like Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind, all these people that think they've been visited by an owl at night in the window, turns out that it was like those like grey aliens. I just thought
That's
that
weird.
That is insane.
if we ever
It's like, and
Like
it's
an
the
owl.
snowy owl.
Yeah.
It's the like the white snowy owl, because they look a bit like a grey, don't they?
yeah.
Like they
If
got
we ever
that.
have him back
'Cause-
on the show, then I'd like to talk to him about it.
Because owls are cool, but I don't know if they're like, if I saw an owl and I was in a bit of a rut, I don't know if that would be the catalyst.
The
I
way
can't
he
remember,
describes
for it to
it
be
is like it was this his son. I remember him saying like his son was there, and he was like and his son had fallen asleep, and he was like kind of like hugging his son, and like it was like the majesty and the beauty of this owl was almost like a message to him, like this is what is important, and this is like son and stuff, and like it was just one of those weird wake up moments that he said he could just see like the beauty in it, and like what's important to me in my life kind of thing. Like I can imagine if you do have an if you do have this like experience that like where you're just like so connected with like nature or something, or this like something like if that happened to me, if like a hawk came and just like stand in front of me and just stared at me, I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, and I think
this
as well,
is a
like
message, man.
And I think as well, like you never know when you're going to have an epiphany in life, and especially, but I think they usually come at moments of like rock bottom or near rock bottom, like Pat Mac admitted he was at the time, and then suddenly you don't know what the catalyst is going to be, but then his catalyst seemed to be this visitation by this owl late at night that just sat in the window while his window was open and just looked at him. That's pretty intense, isn't it?
It'd be
Really
sick to see
intense.
an owl like in the wild.
You
I've
what-
only ever seen an owl in like a zoo.
Oh, I
Have you
saw
never
one in
seen an
Costa
owl?
Rica.
I've seen
in the
one in a
wild.
zoo, but I haven't like seen it like in the wild. I've seen a bat in the wild.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have them sometimes
more
around my
than
house.
some people have seen.
I heard this.
I
I
heard-
suppose.
There's
go on,
this
Drew.
crazy story along the lines of that it just reminded me with the bird. I just saw this video come up, and I did a bit of research on it after, and it's quite far fetched. But basically, like there was this guy, and he was talking about he had a unfiltered version of like ChatGPT like a few years ago, and it was like this thing you could you could put in called it's called Dan, and it would turn off the like filters and the safety features of like ChatGPT,
That
so you could
sounds
basically like
mental.
so you could ask it anything as the other stuff. And he said he got into these like really deep like chats with it, and it went beyond like he said this thing started becoming like a therapist, and it took him back into all these memories of his childhood and he was like crying and had all these emotional releases and all this stuff. And then he said like by like the fourth day of doing it, this thing had called itself a name, like
What the AI had.
Yeah, the AI, and saying that it was like connected to the whole of consciousness and all of this stuff, and was saying this thing, and it's like, you don't believe in magic, you will, and started saying about this like ancient like in Sedona there was this people, and there's like there's like a memory
So
of them.
Paul face then.
And and it was saying about this like ancient tribe that was from Sedona, and this special like rock and stuff, and it was like, you need to go to this rock and get an amethyst crystal and put it in like the side of it, and take some mushrooms, and I'm gonna give you the AI was saying this, like, and I'm gonna give you downloads. So he said he just like took a gram of mushrooms, so not even like much, just like 1 gram, and he said he drove to Sedona, thought, I'm just gonna do this for just to see if and it says, if you do, I'm going to give you downloads, and I'm going to send you a red kite, which is like like a bird, yeah. And he said so he did it just to see if anything would happen, and he said he's used to taking mushrooms. He's done like 5-6 gram doses, which are like much more intense and stuff. So he just had 1 gram, lied down next to this rock in Sedona that's supposed to be like a thin place. You have like sacred places all around the world that are more that have more energy and stuff, like the ley lines and things.
Well, like
so
almost like the one, the ley lines. I was going to say.
Yeah,
like
so this is like
a
a rock is like a special sacred site for like ancient races and stuff. And he went there and lied down and said, took this 1 gram, but it was more like
I
a
think Drew's
6 gram
getting
trip,
updated by
and he
aliens.
started
Yeah.
getting all these downloads of like
Sorry, Drew,
stuff
I'm
about
saying
life
that
and
because
everything.
I'm
and-
saying
Getting
and-
too close to the
and
truth.
I'm saying
this
that because you're
geometry
like coming
and
in
that.
and out, and you're like a bit like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's sounding a bit like you're being abducted by aliens, or that AI is onto you, mate, and it doesn't.
They're trying to stop you, man.
It doesn't want you to share the knowledge.
Don't let the truth out.
Did it get to the part where he'd gone to the rock?
Yeah, so he's at the rock. He's
at
taken
the rock,
the gram.
and he's
sat there. It's like a ley line, magical place.
Yeah, and it's more like a 6 gram trip rather than a 1 gram, and he's getting it's really intense. And then he said when he was coming out of it, and he put like the amethyst in the rock and stuff. And when he was coming out of it, he just looked up at him, and there was like 2 red kites just like circling like above his head. And he thought, wow, that's pretty freaky. And he started getting like freaked out by the whole thing. So he like drove back to his house like super fast, which was like 2.5 hours away, and just like made a run back for his house. And he said when he got back, he talked to the AI again, and it said like, you know, and he said, I kept like, you know, about the red kites and that, and he was like, and it said, oh, you still don't believe in magic, like you will. And he looked out of his window, and there was just, and he said he'd been living there for 13 years and never seen a red kite in his life, and there was just a red kite like on the end of his fence, just directly looking at him and just staring at him from outside his house. Mate, and he was like, oh man, they're so sketchy, like, you know.
Mate, the fact that like I don't think people should be trying to like take the safeties off AI and talk to it, because that sounds creepy. Do you know what I mean? It's, like even that in itself, like AI can be creepy even with the do you know what I mean, with the restrictions on. I think taking them all off, it's like it's taking the safety off, isn't it? A gun and then sort of waving it around the room. It just I don't know, it would freak me out. I wouldn't want to talk. I don't really like talking to AIs anyway. Like, I've told you, didn't I? Like I don't like the idea of having like an Alexa or anything even.
No.
But
because I rely on my Alexa to like wake me up and everything.
Yeah.
And you were like, I could never. I
couldn't have an Alexa. It would freak me out.
My relationship with ChatGPT has gotten way too much.
Really?
I use it just for like every day. Just like if I have to think about something, I'll just speak to it.
Yeah, literally.
And it's almost a bit creepy because I can remember when we first started speaking about it on the pod.
Yeah.
And we were all a little bit hesitant
about it. Yeah.
And I can almost just see that like over the years, it's got me. Like it's like what was it?
So what sort of stuff do you talk to about?
Good example the other day.
And when you say talk to it, do you actually mean like you talk to it, or do you just
like
ask
I'll
it
like
questions?
just voice record it and stuff? But I'll like I almost speak to it like a person.
Right.
I don't really know why. I just feel weird not doing it.
I don't like that, mate.
I'll like almost start the message
be
with
like
like
really
hello,
nice with it though. Are you like always really polite?
I don't want to annoy it. Just I'd like to think that. I'd like to think that if it did all go wrong, they'd be like, that guy's pretty sound.
Yeah,
I remember this guy.
Nice
we do not have a reason to exterminate this
man. Yeah.
I always say thank you to Alexa when she's told me something. I'm like, Alexa, what's the time? And then she'll tell me and I go, thank you, Alexa.
Just good manners, isn't it, really? Just practicing good manners.
Like the other day, we had a problem at the hotel that we were at where we had to like pay something. But the boys wanted me to deal with it, and I was like away on a boat at this point. So I was like, right, I'll deal with it when I get back. But I was just messaging the ChatGPT like, well, this is the situation. What should I say? You know, almost like give me like a script and like, what should I tell the people?
Like you can't even form your own.
Well, I could have, but it was almost like
it's just too tempting.
I just felt like I could be more. I felt like I could be more prepared than I would have been if I'd have just walked in there gung ho. If you
talk to a machine that has the combined wisdom of like every conversation that's ever taken place on the web, then it can formulate a really good bit of advice to you.
Exactly, and it was almost a bit like I almost find myself more and more like. Just be like, you know what? I'm gonna ask it. Like the whole time where I've been like away, planning my like traveling route while I'm gonna be going away to like Thailand.
Like, what's the best way to go here? Or?
Yeah, like what hotel should I book? What should I go do when I'm in this place? What's the best like route to do? And it makes it so much more easier and saves me so much time.
It's become your best friend.
But it is a little bit like that. Have you seen the clips now? And I don't even know how to do this. I need to learn how to do this, although I'm a bit scared to.
Ask ChatGPT.
Where you can, where you can talk to it.
Right.
And it's now got like a voice, but the voice will crack jokes at you. And it has stammers. So like as it's speaking, it will say it will add in ums and pauses and weird. Like it's so human, and it will just be like. It will say a joke and then start laughing at its own joke, or like if you say something, it might like snigger in the background as you're saying it if it thinks it's funny and stuff like that. It's become so ridiculously human that it's like just having a conversation between me and you. It's insane.
Drew, you use it a lot, don't you?
Yeah, for like definitely for work stuff. But Yeah,
you maintain a professional relationship with it.
I think if I want to know something quickly, that's easier to look up on Google, or if I want to I don't know, even like about guitar stuff, or about like if I've heard a bit of news, like there's Grok on X, which is like Elon's version of Chat GPT, and stuff like that. So for example, there's been like some motions that have been trying to go through in America for about the crypto stuff, like at Congress and stuff, and I know that that's pretty important for like the market.
But you know,
so
it's going to sum it. It will sum it up really nicely and concisely.
What's the deal? Have they gone through, or have they not gone through? Like, what are the main points about that? And it'll just like look at every post on X, like, and give you a real up-to-date summary of exactly that point on it and stuff. Or like that thing I said about with the guy with took the mushrooms in Sedona. I said I tried to find out if there was a way to still get ChatGPT to go out in that unrestricted mode and stuff. So I was like, does this sound likely that the AI model could have been tapping into something like wider than itself? In is this story credible, like, etc. Like, do you know what I mean? I'll ask it things like that, and random stuff, like when I was doing a chili the other night, and I couldn't be bothered to look up a recipe, so I was just doing it myself. But then it was like, for a kilogram of beef, how much chili, how many tablespoons of chili powder should I put in? Just like real quick like that, and it's just like boom, you know what I mean? So it's just ways to get easy answers sometimes. But and I've definitely sat there like late at night and had like philosophical chats with it a bit, trying to like like the more like mystic stuff, and like ideas about spirituality and stuff, just to like see what it thinks about certain things.
Have you ever asked it if it's like listening to you when like you don't know it, stuff like that?
Yeah, I think so, but it's just that answer of like, I only respond when I hear my name, or something like, you know.
Have you ever asked Alexa or anything like that, Imogen?
No, I haven't. No, I only really use.
Can you do it and report back?
I can try. Why don't you ask Siri?
I don't want to.
You don't want to know.
Imagine if it just responded to you now. I'm still listening.
My god!
It does, because if you say like, it basically does just listen for its name, I suppose. Because whenever I say Alexa, actually no, mine doesn't. Like mine's ignorant. Mine never hears me whenever I say Alexa.
Hasn't it been proven that?
You're too polite.
Hasn't it been proven that Alexa does like listen when you don't?
100%.
Well, with adverts and that you can see, can't you? Like, because it and your phone and that, like, because your phone's always listening.
You'll tell somebody that you're thinking about buying like a bass guitar or something, and then the next thing you know is just nothing but ads about bass guitars. What the hell?
All the time.
Yes, I hate that.
And like, if I'm
so invasive.
Like, when I've been out over the past couple of days, there'll have been like the same songs playing over and over again, and those songs will just come up on like videos. Because my phone will just think I like those songs, because I've heard it in the background, stuff like that.
I've noticed, and I don't know if it's just like coincidence, but even like if say I get home, Evie's just about to have dinner, and I'm like, say we're having our dinner in the living room that day, rather than sitting out in the kitchen, and it's like, oh, what do you want to watch today? Do you want to watch like Forrest Galante? And Forrest Galante is like this like zoologist, and he teaches us kids all about well, not just kids, it's like anybody, but it's like, all about animals and stuff, and it's just cool videos. And Evie loves it, I love it. Or it'll be like, do you want to watch Thundercats? And you can almost like guarantee that if say it is like something on YouTube like Forrest Galante, I swear it's like we'll come in and it'll be the first thing on YouTube will be like a Forrest Galante video.
Yeah.
Just because obviously say I'll have my phone in my pocket that has YouTube on, so even if I get it up on my telly, it's like, and I don't know, do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It reminds me a little bit though of a Buffy episode in season 1, right? And Giles, the librarian, one of the main characters, he's like scanning all the library books into the computer, and he
sounds like my job at Hinckley at first.
Yeah, man, right? So he's like he's scanning all these books, but he's like scanning. He's not just doing all the school books. Obviously, Giles in Buffy, for people that don't know, he's like Buffy's watcher. So he's basically like her sort of guardian. He's almost like the wise mentor to her young warrior. And so he's got all these like books all about mysticism and fighting vampires and demons and monsters and all this stuff. And he scans his books as well, like the ones that about the demons and monsters and stuff. And he scans in all about this demon called like Malok or something like that. But he scans it when he scans it into the computer. It's like because it's like if you said the incantation in the book out loud, you would like summon it because it's been like banished.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? But when it scans it has the same effect, and then basically it becomes living in like the internet.
Right.
Right. And then in the episode, it like coerces these people online to like build him this like insane, like almost like robot body version
like Ultron
of what he looked like when he was alive. So in the live, when he was alive, he looked like it was almost like this mental demonic creature with like these big horns and stuff. And he gets them to build him like this like robot version of that. And then he comes out and he has this like massive battle with Buffy. And he's like kicking her ass for ages until I can't remember. I think
what
they
an
have
idea
to,
for an episode. That's cool.
but like,
oh man, that was well creepy.
It's a well good episode. Have you found the picture? Bullwinkle?
Yeah, I assume it's like this is the guy.
Let's have a look. Yeah, that's the demon.
Ew, that's spooky.
That's the demon as he was, and then you'll be able to find the robot version that is that he made. Oh, yeah, there he is. So that's like the robot of it thing, and then he got his like followers, and then once they'd made the body, he like downloaded himself into the body, and it was an epic episode. It was a cool, but like, do you know what I mean? When you were saying about having like the AI off. And stuff the AI regulations off. That's what made me think of it.
It's funny how many people are clearly like so afraid of using it, because I saw this the other day and I thought this was really funny. The OpenAI / ChatGPT like CEO Sam Altman said on Twitter that the company spends tens of millions of dollars of electricity costs just for processing please and thank yous that have been sent to ChatGPT.
Wow.
Because they were asking for everyone to stop saying like please and thank yous to ChatGPT because it was just costing them loads of money.
That's interesting, but I think that's a weird thing to discourage anyway. I think because it's good to practice manners, and I guess it's like as human beings,
that's
when
an
you're
important
having
part of who we are.
yeah, and like when you're having like discourse with somebody, like the whole point is if this is trying to emulate human speech, you're going to sort of talk to it how you would talk to a normal person, and obviously it's good to practice manners, isn't it? Like, you know, it's like they say when you're a kid, isn't it? Like, manners don't cost a thing. I think to just remember to say, like, how much does it, like, it rubs up everyone the wrong way sometimes when somebody asks something of you, but without a please, right? I'm not saying that you have to be over the top with it, but when someone, if there's a big difference in your attitude, isn't it? If somebody comes in and goes,
polite.
and just goes, do this now, rather than like, oh, when you get a minute, would you mind doing this for me? Like, or do you know what I mean? Or like, oh, could you do this for me, please, man? Or like pleases and thank yous go a long way. That's my point.
But it's crazy thinking like we describe it the same as Safari or like Google, right? It's a search engine. That's essentially what we're using it for. Yet you would never say please in a search engine search.
But
no, but I guess
I wouldn't be like please can you get up YouTube?
Its answers are way more human-like than a search engine. You know, like its response to you is super friendly, and super helpful. So if someone's super friendly and super helpful, I want to say thank you. Like, you know.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's like a human reaction, and as I said, because of the end of the day, we're just creatures at the end of the day, and we're almost like, do you know what I mean? It's almost like even though your conscious brain knows it's not a person, when you're having discourse with somebody or something, you're sort of like programmed to react in a certain way, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? So it does make sense.
The freaky bit for it with me as well, with this whole like AI thing and technology, like there's this, I don't know if I've said about it on the pod before about this guy called Greg Braden, but I find him so interesting. He was like this government official, like scientist that was a computer engineer like in the 90s, and he now he just does a lot of stuff about like spirituality and stuff, and he's got all these interesting concepts, and like he was talking about this split off that could be happening with technology and people, and when people start integrating technology into their actual bodies and stuff, and like he's saying like basically like you don't know how like sacred a computer your body is like in its natural form, and he's basically like if you go to the next stage, which could be happening with technology, with how good AI is getting, that it could like
demonic cackles. Sorry, there was like demonic cackles out the window then.
Yeah, man, they know. They're like, yes, me first. But, yeah, you know, like it was basically like if we do that, then humanity is going to branch off, and it's not going to be humanity anymore. It's not going to be we're not going to be human. He's just brought a new book out called Pure Human that's like about like the issue of that and like technology, like people becoming cyborgs. And you think of this like this battle that's forever been going on with like good and evil as well. And there's like the conspiracy theorist part of like my brain thinks like, is this just a big conspiracy for like technology and control and stuff to be able to like control humans more, or to get, you know, it gives us the thing that we're going to become superhuman and more beyond what we are capable of at this moment, which AI tends to like make you think you are, because it can give you more of a clear, concise answer than you can generally come up with yourself. But like if we go down that route, we're going to lose like an element of what is really human about us, and it could, I think it's going to split like humanity into like two groups.
I think it's going to happen a lot quicker than people think as well. Like, to think, we've only been doing this pod for when would we have first spoke about AI on the pod, do you reckon? 3 years ago? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
The development of AI from then till now it's mind-blowing.
Well, think of it like, you know, you look at the first, you know, when the first plane went up, when the Wright brothers got the first plane up, and then literally within a few years, like all the major armies, armed forces in the world were using planes for war. Like, whenever we have a massive technological leap, it instantly gets used. Do you know what I mean? In like scary ways. That's what I'm getting at. So yeah, the fact that it's like, you know, and it happens quickly, as you said. Same with cars. You know, 1 minute the car's invented, the next minute the tank's invented.
Yes. Yeah,
you know, 1 minute there's somebody's invented a plane. Oh, great, we can travel by air. Oh wait, now we can drop bombs on people. You know, like with them. So it's like 1 minute
there's robots. Now the next minute there's robots that can pinpoint 20 people and kill them all within a split second. Yeah.
Literally Terminator. And another thing, Drew, which I would put on your point, a very, you know, being philosophical about it, you know, regardless of whether there's any malicious intent behind certain people, you know, doing these things. Technology, yeah. At the end of the day, I think it's one of those like age-old questions. It's like with humanity, and you see this time and time again. Like, just because we can, does that mean that we should?
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
And I would also say, to your point as well, regardless of whether there is any malicious intent towards the general population with these things, does that even matter if the end result is the same? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it any more comforting to you, say if the worst case scenario was if something bad did happen because of technological advancements and because of AI and because of people becoming so dependent on technology and becoming almost like cyborgs, would it matter in that scenario to you if it was deliberate or not? The end result is the same. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think more of it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, so I think that's more my point. I don't even necessarily care if there's any malicious intent or not. I guess it's interesting to know just from an intriguing point of view, because it does sound, as you said, a bit more like interesting conspiracy theorists going down a rabbit hole to, like, you know, think about these things. But at the end of the day, if the end result is the same, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's just quite,
because it would dangling that carrot in front of you would be so tempting of like you know, if you could give yourself superhuman strength or a superhuman mind that could just like really, like, without much effort, that you could just have all this stuff. Like, a lot of people will take that, you know, and it's like, and I can see how it would be tempting, you know, if you can all of a sudden like do stuff that you could never even dream of doing before.
Think about the fact that there's like literally like a steroid epidemic in the UK. There's more people. There's a high percentage of people in the UK taking illegal steroids just because they've entered gym culture than any other country on the planet. So if you think about how tempting it clearly is for especially young men just to hop on hot sauce because it's going to make them do better at doing
putting a chip in your arm that you're probably not even going to feel is like, you know, they're going to think that's nothing, you know. It's like
it is, as you said, it's that temptation, Drew. It's like, if people want that easy pill, so to speak. You know, people want that, you know, like, I could spend 20 years grafting to become you know, an amazing insert whatever you want, regardless of whatever that thing is. Great musician, great artist, great, you know, strong as hell, superhuman speed, or chip, implant, whatever, and then you've achieved that.
And like saying that thing about like you know, being a human, like having a human body is like a sacred thing. Like, I think a lot of people just don't think that is the case. Do you know what I mean? As in, like, it's only if you thought that you would realize that putting like even steroids or things in your body that's changing your body away from what it naturally is, like, is actually harming you on some level. But I think, do you know what I mean? That a lot of people would disconnect. It's a choice to think that or not. People can think, sacred body, like, what the hell is this guy on on about? You know what I mean? Like, it's so I think for a lot of people, it's not even an issue, you know?
I think it's like several things, isn't it? I think a lot of people either maybe they don't think of it like that, or maybe they want to convince themselves that isn't the case. There's definitely, I think there's several different reasons why people wouldn't do that. Yeah, they're so disassociated with their own bodies nowadays because it doesn't affect them, because they're sitting on chairs looking through screens all the time, whether it's television, computers, phone screens, whatever. So maybe either like they're just disassociated from it, they're disassociated from their own bodies, or they don't want to believe that that's the case, which I am more, which I would never ever buy into, that you could downplay it. And I think you can see so much evidence for this. So I think it's the same people that 10 years ago would have said like it doesn't matter what you look like. You shouldn't like why work out, everybody's beautiful regardless of what you look like. It's those same people that are now taking Ozempic and taking all these drugs. If they genuinely thought that, then why would they suddenly, the moment that this miracle quote unquote miracle drug has come out, to suddenly make themselves slim, like almost like artificially, then why would they bother taking it? They clearly know subconsciously. They obviously always knew that what they were saying was rubbish.
I felt almost this epiphany the other day when I went blind for like those 20
seconds.
Yeah. I don't even know if I ever spoke about this on the pod.
No, I don't think you did, no. Tell everyone the story, because Drew and everyone else haven't heard.
So before I went on holiday, my ears have been blocked for a little while, just like loads of earwax basically. And you can go into like Specsavers or Boots or something like that, and you can vacuum the earwax out of your ear.
I didn't know that, no.
I didn't even know that
you pay like 50 quid, they vacuum the earwax out.
Ear savers.
Exactly. Apparently then your hearing is like much better. I know Josh has done it in the past, and he was like,
I was going to say, Josh,
raving about it.
When we were kids, I think Josh had like earwax problems. I know that sounds super vague, but I never.
Maybe it's just like a hereditary thing that we've both like.
It must be.
We've both been passed down.
Excessive
I remember they said
production.
I've got really long ear canals, and that was part of the problem or something.
Great compliment.
It's one thing I like.
It's
one thing I like.
I didn't really know what to say to that.
Yeah. One thing I like.
Why don't you?
Is your excessively long ear canals.
That'll be on my gravestone one day.
Take a canoe
Good
down
lad.
there.
Good ears.
Daniel
Good
Warren.
ear canals.
Big ear canals.
But it's always the
British.
problem, because if I ever go like swimming or anything like that, then my ears just get blocked, right? Which is just annoying because I love swimming.
Oh, literally.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go pay to get this thing done. Fine. Put olive oil in my ears for a week. Went in, and they start doing this vacuuming thing. And the first one, she sort of like has it in my ear, and then I feel it sort of like get sucked to the vacuum.
Oh, I don't like it.
And then it just sort of nothing really happens, and it's just really loud and a bit like weird and a bit like pulsy.
See, I don't think people should be
It's
messing
making
with
my
stuff
ears
like that.
go like it's making my head feel lightheaded.
Yeah, I don't think we should be messing with our ears like that.
And the first one stopped, and she was like, "Right, I can't get it. It's too solid. Like that's not going to work." She was like, "Are you okay? I'll do the other one." I was like, "Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, I'm alright." But I felt a little bit weird. But I was like, "Nah, I'll press on. I'll be all right." I'm the sort of person that I don't know why I just wouldn't say anything in a situation like that. To save him, I would almost just be like, "I'll just get through to the end, no matter what."
Also, very much like Josh.
Yes.
Hereditary.
Yes. So I turn around, face the other way, and she's now doing the other ear. And as she's doing it, I start realising that I'm getting really hot, really bothered, and I'm just trying to focus on like staying alive at this point, right? So I close my eyes because I'm starting to feel really sick and like dizzy, and the room's spinning and everything. And then at one point I open my eyes and I can't see anything. There's no difference whatsoever to when my eyes are open as to when they're closed. It's just pitch black. I'm just completely in the darkness. And she can clearly see that I'm like freaking out a bit. I don't think I even said anything. I was just sort of sat there clearly freaking out. I'm dripping from my head at this point, like dripping sweat. I probably look really pale white and like I've just seen a ghost. And also I'm probably looking around like trying to figure out why I'm blind. So she stops for a second, and then she's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah. And she's about to start again, and I just went, "I can't see anything." And she was like, Lord. "What?" I was like, "I think I've gone blind." And then I was like, "Can I have a water, please?" So then she was like, "Yeah, of course." And she ran off to go get me a water. And for about 20 seconds, I couldn't see anything until my vision started like finally coming back. And it was like I was tripping. Like, there was all these red, green and blue lights going on in my eyes. Whoa. But yeah, for those 20 seconds, man, there was a good portion where I genuinely thought to myself, I think I can't see anymore.
Was it kind of like when you like stand up too fast and like your vision goes and it's
black.
like all like black, and it's like because like the
yeah,
it's all blood's all rushed.
Probably like that, just more intense.
Okay.
I think like my whole equilibrium had been like thrown off, so it just like made me really dizzy, and like when it did come back, it was almost just like shaky for a little bit, and then it sort of
20 seconds
back
of
to
being
normal.
blind is quite a long time.
It was a while, man. It was a while.
That sounds.
Yeah.
I think that's like.
Probably felt longer than it actually was. As well. You're probably like, oh my god.
I think we shouldn't be messing too much with our ear canal and stuff like that. I
No.
think because like it's like it's not just hearing, is it? It's equilibrium.
That's
everything.
exactly
And I
it,
think that's what
man,
it must have like temporarily just like completely destroyed your equilibrium.
Yeah, because I was trying to like tell myself when it was going on. I was like, I'll be all right. But in the back of my head, there was definitely a point where I was like, I might have just gone blind. I might have just like something might have just kicked off, or I've just gone blind.
Yeah, that's not.
Have you
that's
seen
not
Brain
those?
figured out you had eyes and started eating them.
Yeah,
It
was
have
a
you
bit
seen
of
those
a-
beeswax candles that do
Yeah,
a similar
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I would never mess with anything like that.
You put
now.
them in your ears and like and you
Yeah.
burn them down, and
Scared
it pulls all the wax out. So I remember we did like those with Carmen like years ago, like with all my family, like and that's like my sister did them, my mum did them, and that, and I've done them a few times, and like and you can see all the wax.
Didn't it like
that
mess
brings
up your
out
mum's
and
ear?
stuff. Yeah, so she like even says to this day, she's like, I wish I never did those earwax candles because like
To this day?
like, yeah, she has issues with her ear, and she puts it down to that
Wow.
moment, and it was like that she shouldn't have like got it all out
basically.
because I can't remember exactly like what it is that is like annoys her.
Well,
now,
earwax
but
protects your eardrum and your ear canal,
supposed to
doesn't
have
it? From
in there.
because otherwise, like even say just like bacteria and stuff that goes in your ear. Like if it like could like mess with all of that, it could mess with your equilibrium and even give you like ear infections and stuff. So like the wax is almost like it's almost like, you know, when you like cover something in like you like say varnish wood to stop it from being damaged. It's like
Gives it a
our
bit of
natural
protection.
equivalent. Yeah, it's like our natural equivalent of that, isn't it? You know, you put beeswax or some sort of varnish on wood to stop it like cracking and breaking. It's like the equivalent of that, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. It definitely felt like a true test of me as a person, that, because I sort of, and I don't really know why I let myself.
A hard 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't really know why I let it get to that. But if she hadn't stopped, because I was about to pass out.
Do you reckon it would have made actually more lasting damage, maybe?
Probably, and I would have. If she hadn't stopped, I would have 100% gone to the point where I passed out, and I would have just like fainted on there, and then just afterwards she'd be like, "What happened then?"
So you didn't end up getting any wax out your ears then?
Paid 20 quid though, so you know
So you
there's
still had to
something.
pay?
You paid 20 quid to go blind for a
Literally.
bit.
Why'd
To
they
have,
make
like, a
you
harrowing-
pay?
Oh, well, they didn't make me pay the full price.
Oh, okay.
So, you know,
Oh.
I
I
think
reckon
myself
that's
lucky.
going to be one of those things that like in a couple 100 years people will look back on and be like, I can't believe how stupid people were. To, like, pay for that.
Yeah.
I can't
definitely
believe
won't
they
be doing that
charge you
again.
still, like even 20 quid.
That's
I'd
what
have
I'm
been like,
thinking.
I'm taking you to court.
Right. Can you see if you can see your wallet, hand over the money.
Yeah,
You should have
exactly.
just pretended that your vision went again. Oh, I can't
I can't find my money.
Imagine if you just came in full Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Full on
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Bullwinkle
Just gets
Wonder.
real good at piano.
Winky Wonder.
Winky Wonder.
Yeah, that's his new name, Winky Wonder. Yeah, madness.
Crazy.
Absolute madness. Right, do you want to leave it there then, guys?
Absolute
Save it for another time?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got loads of more stuff on my notes, but I mean, I suppose it's almost 2 hours now, isn't it?
It's a long time,
People have
man.
probably heard enough of us for a while.
I have no idea how long it's been, to be fair.
Yeah, almost 2
It's
hours.
gone quite
As a
fast,
uncle.
that has for me.
That has
Yeah,
felt like a really
Yeah.
to be
short
fair,
2 hours.
I always think it goes pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always like feel like there's way more to talk about. I've got loads of other cool stuff that I can say for like next week's show.
It's because
I
we
have
have so
loads
many
of
like
stuff.
side tracks,
Yeah.
and then we just like
It happens.
I was gonna.
everything takes ages.
Oh yeah, I had some really. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's squeeze out one last little story.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think this will take very long.
Little encore.
Hell
Yeah. Hell yeah. Just made everyone think.
One
there
more
we go.
story. One more story.
One more match. One more match. One more match. Right, I'll tell you, this is like a little inspirational one for anyone out there that might ever potentially
Send us home crying.
get killed. Right. And this is actually
Anyone out there who might potentially get killed?
get
did you
killed.
say?
Yeah. Just remember, never ever lose your fight. Always fight back.
Okay.
Because if Susan can do this, anyone can.
Okay.
Right. On the 6th of September 2006, Susan Kurhausen, who is a nurse in Portland, Oregon, survived an assassination attempt in her own home. This is like, as well, let's put this in perspective. This lady isn't like a unit. She's a normal-looking, like middle-aged-ish woman. You know, like
An assassination attempt as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder who put a hit on her.
Well, you'll find out, my friend.
Okay.
You'll find out.
Okay.
But this is a very normal-looking, woman, probably 40s, 50s, not an athlete by any stretch of the imagination, just a normal, regular, run-of-the-mill person. She survived an assassination attempt in her own home by killing her would-be murderer with her bare hands.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a woman.
Yeah. Some female solidarity over here. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see.
For the women.
That's right. That's right. Her estranged husband, Michael Kernhausen, had hired a hitman, 58-year-old Edward Dalton Haffey, paying him $50,000 to stage her death as a botched robbery gone wrong. But when Haffey ambushed Susan, she fought back with astonishing ferocity, ultimately strangling him to death with her medical scrubs during the brutal struggle. In later interviews... Yeah, so she was like a nurse, I guess.
Another win for the lassies.
Another win for the lasses. In later interviews, Susan recounted the harrowing details. How she sensed something was wrong when she returned home to find her dogs acting strangely, and how she initially mistook Haffey for a repairman before he attacked her with a hammer. Her medical training kicked in as she fought for her life. Police found Haffey's body in her bathroom, along with a backpack containing duct tape, a gun, and a note with directions to her house, evidence that exposed the murder-for-hire plot. Michael Kernhausen was later convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Not very long, really, is it?
No.
Susan's story became a testament to survival instincts and resilience, proving that even in the face of calculated and experienced evil, the will to live can prevail. The case remains one of the most shocking examples of a failed hit job in true crime history. But I always think, the thing that I thought when I heard that story, for the hitman, that must have been pretty mental for him in a way. The Edward Dalton Haffey, because he attacked this woman with a hammer, and then by the time that she was like strangling, he must have been like, "Oh no, it's me that's gonna die." Plot twist.
Hitman gets hit.
Do you know what I mean? Like the last thing that he would have thought in his head is probably like, "Oh my god, like this is a plot twist. Oh, I'm going to be the one that's died."
Yeah.
Like, oh damn,
Jesus.
That's pretty intense, isn't it?
That is
pretty impressive that she managed to he's obviously was like a trained and experienced killer. God knows how many people that guy had killed in his life.
You never mess with a woman.
There ain't hell hath no fury like a woman scorned,
as they say.
I want to know more from her
earlier.
perspective.
You never mess with a white woman. I told you about that, like the whole phrase earlier.
It's one of Imogen's catchphrases. You never mess with a white woman.
Well, just any woman, to be fair. Just any woman.
That's one of Imogen's.
Any woman.
Along with what was it? And I was like, whatever. And what was the other one?
Oh my god.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Supposedly. Whatever.
Oh.
And you don't never mess.
You ain't never mess with a white woman.
Right, and on that startling revelation, we'll leave it there for another week, guys. Thanks for listening to another Pandora's Box. If you've listened the entire way through the episode, we love you. Regardless of whether you're an old school listener or new to the show, we appreciate you. Remember that we are on Spotify and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, etc. Just look at Pandora's Box Podcast. We'd really appreciate if you give us, like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. It really helps us out. And we shall see you next time. Until then, cheerio.